Greetings and salutations, Dota fans! It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Lads Season 10 action. I am joined tonight by the usual suspect, Mr. Nouns, social media manager, Mr. Dota Buff, community manager, Mr. 5-Rap 4-Staff analyst, the great Logical Dota 2. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I'm happy that we're trying out this camera thing. I think it will be pretty good. These are two teams that haven't casted either. Know some of these players a little bit. Should be some good games.
Now, for those who are wondering in terms of how the teams have done going into this series, this is Toilet Jork's third series. They went 1-1 in both series, and they actually won some pretty good teams. If I open up their history, they won Funny Zone, who once again they made grand finals last season, and they won Riley Feed, who we're considering as one of the big contenders this season. So it's a pretty good 2-2 to start their season. And then for Boring Zone, it's their first series, so we have not casted them, but nor has anyone else. This is their debut, and they will open up their season with a Mars pick.
Yeah, that's a Tiani classic. I don't know if he'll consider it his signature hero, but I feel like that's the hero that I've seen him play the most of. Let me take a peek.
That's a Clockwork 6 pick into a Morana 7 pick. That's actually fairly interesting. That's a little bit unorthodox there from Toilet Jork.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those heroes work pretty nicely together because you can isolate a hero with Clock Hook and then come out into Arrow afterwards. But yeah, I mean, Clock's not really a hero that we see a whole lot of. It has some interesting traits, like the laning can be pretty decent. It's a lot of damage early on, and then the shard is actually really nice as well. In like the mid game when you're trying to walk up hills or when you need a hero to go scout, just the jetpack gives you a ton of flying vision. So just pressing jetpack and walking up hills is a really underrated part of that hero. Still, it's not really it's definitely not one that we see the most often. It's probably not top of the meta hero right now.
If memory serves, it is a hero that Flesh Canoe likes to play, so we might just see it played in the 5 role, with the Mirana being 4. That's probably my prediction of where these Radiant heroes are going to end up going, but it's always flexible with these two heroes. You always could see some weird stuff with Mirana. They generally haven't played 5 and 4 respectively recently, but they always could be put somewhere weird. You never know with those two heroes.
Yeah, I know Fatslot likes Mirana as well as like at least a platinum tier Mirana, I want to say. And they play Dota on their other account more so than their main account, and they're still platinum tier on this account, so I'm sure that they would not be super opposed to playing it in the carry role either. I want to say they're playing carry.
That's the problem when we haven't casted the team yet, is you don't necessarily know exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, they are. They're
okay,
carry.
Okay. I know traditionally Fatsloth had played carry, but sometimes players swap roles, and apparently it will not be today. We'll be seeing the expected. Speaking of expected, some very expected bans: Coddle, CK, Pugna, Storm, 4 of the premier heroes of the patch, and now we're getting a little more frisky with this second phase of bans, but notably there is a reduced amount of reserve time today. Toilet Jork were very, very late tonight, so they were assessed a level 2 draft penalty, so they are down 70 seconds of reserve time. Doesn't seem to be an issue quite yet. Perhaps when we get down the brass tacks at the end of the draft, might see Radiant panic a little bit with that lack of reserve time.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean it depends on a draft basis. I think some games I definitely remember going through some of my role swap games with just like full reserve time at the end of the draft, but like some games you can definitely feel it. I think one of the lads games either we casted or that I saw being talked about, one of the teams just missed a ban in the last phase. So you got to pay attention to it, but honestly, I don't really think it's going to do the most damage to Toilet Jork's draft.
Crazier things have happened in the draft. Obviously, there was the very famous Insania Gyro pick a few TIs ago, but there have been a number of teams that have skipped bans here and there, even in pro games, so what can you do sometimes?
Boring Zone just banned. Their bans are actually really fun. They just got 4 strength offlaners in Coddle. 4, yeah.
And the thing is that they've already gotten their strength offlaner, so might as well ban the other strength offlaners, get them on a
5 seconds remaining.
suboptimal strength offlaner. Problem is, there's still more of them. Underlord isn't been. Underlord has not been banned yet. A couple of these better strength offlaners have not been touched quite yet, so there's still plenty of room for Toilet Jork to grab, say, like an 18 strength pick offlaner if they so choose.
Yeah, I mean, I think the like Sand King and the Dragonite are Sand King, Dragonite, and Mars. Those three definitely fulfill a different niche than the other ones. I would say, where they just have this like unreactable blink stun, and they're really strong in team fights because of it. So I think Toilet Jork will have to settle if they do want one, but at the same time, I don't even think that's something that they have to go for. And there are some others that are, as you said, maybe suboptimal, but it's not the biggest deal. Jug pick by Toilet Jork. I'm pretty good lane against Mars. You can spin out of Arena as well in the mid game. Void Sphere pick by Boring Zone. You can Astral Step out of Cogs and you don't mind Jug. I think the pick makes sense.
5 seconds remaining.
I did not particularly mention the Snapfire pick, but I do like that one as well. It's probably like the best Clockwork counter in the game, or something close to it. You can just cookie any hero out of Cogs, and it's super obnoxious for Clockwork to deal with.
Definitely going to be a challenge this game for Clock to lock down most of these heroes, but I'm sure Flash Canoe will find some way of having impact. You mentioned the jetpack, and perhaps that might be one of the primary roles this game for Flash Canoe, is just give that sort of vision advantage. I know it's not as strong as say that a good old Helm Denominator Satyr Harpy we saw for a few weeks, but I'm sure it'll come in handy still. For now, though,
I'm
we
dying.
have 17 Undying into an 18 pick Ember.
10 seconds remaining.
Void Spirit Ember is still, relatively a 50-50 matchup in the mid lane, right?
5 seconds remaining.
Void Spirit Ember is pretty whatever. I'd say that's like 55-45 Ember favored maybe, but it's like nothing. If one of the players dies or if one of the players loses lane significantly, it was a skill thing. Like they just got outplayed. Undying is a pretty interesting pick actually. They do have the Mars Arena to protect the tomb, kind of as a budget Mars Phoenix. But Mirana is a pretty good hero at killing the tomb. The lane's pretty good against Clockwork, but I'm still interested to see them pick that. I think it must just be a patience comfort hero.
Yeah, it's definitely one of his preferred heroes in 5. If memory serves, he's a big, like, Undying Ogre Magi type enthusiast. He's sort of like strong trading supports in the laning phase, and Undying certainly is one of the better heroes at doing that. Though, notably, Radiant did not grab their strength offlaner
10
in this
seconds
second
remaining.
pick phase, so it's time for Boring Zone to ban out 2 more strength offlaners. I mentioned the Underlord in ban phase 2. It is banned out now, and potentially we even could see one more.
Bliss plays a lot of
Strength
Axe, right? He's like level 30 Axe or something.
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure about that one.
10 seconds
Level
remaining.
27 Legion Commander. I remember that they play
5 seconds remaining.
a lot of Axe from RD12,
Team
but I mean, Axe is Axe in the current meta. It's not a hero that you see a whole lot of, so I can't say I'm that surprised that Boring Zone no been out.
Axe is, I don't know, Axe feels like a really weird hero, right? Because you see Axe like do super well in terms of pub stats, but then he has like 0 competitive scene presence. I find that very interesting, considering a lot of these heroes that are very good in pubs right now are also good in the pro scene, but Axe is just the big exception. Like, hey, he is, I think, the best hero in pubs right now across all skill brackets, but he just has no presence in the pro scene, or even the amateur scene, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people thought that the hero was going to be really good when they reworked the whole like battle hunger thing and the extra armor or the armor sex that you got in Axe. But I think I got a couple of small nerfs in some of the sub patches, and then the hero it was like already wasn't seeing the most play in competitive, and then the play that it did see was pretty much killed off by the numbers nerfs that it got.
You
Boring
have
Zone.
10 seconds of time left for Boring Zone. They're the ones that have the reserve time, funnily enough, but we end up seeing a Medusa 23 pick, and this seems like a fairly decent Dusa game to me.
Yeah, it's a pretty free Medusa game, I'd say. Jug can be decent against Dusa, but you like I think Dusa definitely outfarms Jug, and then
Seconds remaining.
you don't really die to Jug ever, and so it can like unless the Jug buys like a diffusal variant for an item build, Jug can't really mess with the Dusa at all. Pretty solid carry versus carry matchup, and then Dusa obviously does really well against Ember. Ember just can't do anything to Dusa past like the 7-minute mark. Yeah, very, very good Dusa pick, I'd say. Also lanes really well with the Undying. They just gotta, like, it's really annoying to lane against this Dire team. They're gonna put a tombstone on the ground, they're gonna put an arena on the ground. You have to deal with Stone Gaze, so you have to watch where you're looking.
Does Mirana still have a mana break talent or no?
I want to say they removed it, but I'll have to double check that. It does,
Mirana
at
used.
20.
Okay, so I have
20.
the play here. Clockwork cogs have mana burn logical, and Mirana has a 20 talent for mana burn, and that's how they're going to counter Medusa. That's definitely a reliable strategy to do so.
I mean, actually, no, they already have Jug, right? So it's probably not going to be carry Mirana, but if they didn't have Jug, then I would say that's like not the most unlikely possibility to just have some Diffusal Manta carry Mirana by Fat Sloth. Right now, though, I think they're going to pick offlane hero. X. Oh, shit.
You may now select.
Luckily, we've discussed Axe pretty heavily, so we did the prep. We had a good prediction, good read in the Axe pick here, so we know some of the value of the Axis game. Problem is, Axe also doesn't match up well into Medusa, because ordinarily a hero like Axe can call a hero and, get them off your other heroes. Problem is, Medusa has this nice little happy ability called Split Shot. So even if you're calling the Medusa, he's still split shotting more targets, so part of the value of Medusa is still being kept even when she is called. So I am really preferring this Dire side draft. I'm not sure if you're feeling the same or what here, but I like it a lot here.
Yeah, I also agree. I think it's just very easy to play around. Deuce, I don't like maybe if it's like two of the best teams in the world playing. I'm not really sure who I'd say has the better draft, but definitely at this level, I think that it's just very easy to execute around the Dusa. Another reason that Dusa doesn't really care too much about Axe is because of mana shield. A lot of agi carries can just kind of die to being blink called with the blade mail if they don't get their BKB off. But Dusa just does not really care at all. Even if you get blink called, as you said, you're still doing damage with split shot, and you're not dying to the blade mail just because Dusa has so much effective HP.
Well, so we're both on the Dire side draft wise, and if history's any indication, Radiant are about to win game number 1. But I meme slightly when I say that. It is going to be interesting to see how
they won. We cursed them.
It'll be interesting to see how Boring Zone do in their debut. We like the draft. We like some of their players a lot, and potentially it could be a very good game number 1. But off of Toilet Jork's form so far, they will not be a pushover. They will certainly bring their brand of Dota into the series as a viable threat. Guess what time it is? It's 9:40.
It's time.
We have just finished the draft. It's 9:40.
It was supposed to start at what, 9?
9.
Yeah.
We have clearly missed that benchmark.
Unlucky, really.
What can you do? We are. If you are just joining us, welcome for game number 1 of Toilet Jork taking on Boring Zone. Toilet Jork maintain their 2-2 record. Boring Zone 0-0. It's their first showing of the season. My name is Badger. I am joined by Logical Dota, and now we are no longer joined by Facecam, so that's going to be okay. We're joined by 10 Dota heroes on a Dota screen. And we're seeing a 5-man smoke from the side of from Boring Zone already.
Boil it, Bork.
I was trying to figure out which team was which for a second there, but I figured it out. It's Boring Zone in the Dire, Toilet Jork in the Radiance. Thought for a second it was Toilet Jork in the Dire, but that was a complete fabrication.
Dire's really strong level 1. I like this decision to go try to group up and get something done. Even Deuce is like deceptively strong at level 1. This Mystic Snake is pretty long range and it provides a movement speed slow for 3 seconds. It can help you set up for your other hero spells. I saw Deuce get like 3 snakes off in a level 1 engagement the other day and it resulted in my offlaner getting first blood triple kill.
Oh dear, that's. I mean, you think about Deuce historically, the hero who really didn't do that well in terms of crowd control. With the buffs to Snake and with the buffs to Stone Gaze, Deuce is actually
Battle begins.
more than just a right clicker now.
Hey, yeah, Snake has definitely changed a lot over time. It used to literally steal mana and give it to you, and now it doesn't take mana anymore, still gives it, and now it also does the move speed slow. Turn rate slow as well.
Still can't believe that Stonegate gives you a speed boost. That one my brain has never gotten over. We're seeing Deuce already get zoned away from her own safe lane by Micro Fry and Clueless, and I don't think she'll miss more than maybe one last hit from that, but it's never fun to miss a last hit on Deuce, of course. Bottom lane, Clockwork is managed like an absolute madman, and that is Flash Canoe Dota. He is one of the more aggressive fives in the lane phase, for better or for worse. Sometimes it pays off handsomely in this game. So far, it's not gone too well.
Yeah, I think this is a really bad lane grief, to be honest. Okay, he doesn't die there, but he's got no salves. He's just gotta sit in... I'd say he has to sit in tower protection range, but he's not even in tower protection range. He's just walking back to base with his boots. So I would say probably not the best way to lane as Clockwork is to just trade 2 versus 1 and then go run back to base with boots.
See, Clock with Battery Assault quite good at trading 1v1, but just good awareness there from Tiani and Simon to work together and ensure the Clock cannot bully them. And now it's already a fantastic start in this bot lane. We mentioned mid lane in the draft is relatively even lane. So far, it has been kind of even, though Mr. Lens is a bit ahead in CS. He actually has 3 denies versus Polo's 0 denies, so perhaps that could be an issue as the laning phase goes on. We're seeing Micro Fry on Marana. He cut the wave. He's brought it all the way to this Radiant Tri-Camp area. Patience is on him, though. He wants to perhaps kill him. I don't think the K will be enough damage, though Marana is very injured right now.
Punishing Mirana at level 1 before she gets leap is a lot of the times the best way to like decisively win a Mirana lane. It's a little bit hard to do that with Dire's safe lane, though. Undying's pretty strong, but no Orb of Venom, and then Dusa can get it done if her 5 is a hero that's really good at killing heroes, but even Undying is actually pretty good at killing heroes. It's probably not gonna happen.
Well, those things, Undying's a nice 5 for killing, but not with Medusa. They're not necessarily, they're more of like a, hey, get Medusa farm type combo more than is, hey, we're going to, say, drop Tombstone and demolish Axe Marana type lane.
Yeah, the Axe Mirana lane, this is a classic. This used to be like one of the premier lanes, I feel like. I don't remember exactly what patch it was, but oh, a Flesh Canoe's
It
dead.
is First Blood, bottom lane, Flesh Canoe. You know, it's actually top lane instead. Micro Fry went down before that. Back over to top again, it's Clueless on the run. I don't think the Axe will die just yet. He does have a salve, but he's slowed by Mystic Snake. He'll die. Well then.
3 quick ones.
Oh, Scatterblast missed bottom lane. Had that have hit, it would have been 4 quick ones. And, well, Boring Zone. What a fantastic start to the laning phase.
Yeah, the side lanes are going pretty well. Even the mid lane, it's already going quite well. Having a 6 CS advantage minute 3 is. I mean, there's only so much you can do in the mid lane. There are only so many creeps that the advantage you can get can only be so big, and I think a 6 CS is honestly quite a lead to have this early in. It's not like he's not decisively winning the lane or anything, but it's definitely kind of a big deal.
I believe Mr. Lens is playing up something like 700 MMR, so I guess it's not too shocking, but it's still a fantastic performance so far on the Void Spirit, and as you might say, skill issue.
Dire structures are fortified.
And pretty much everything's a skill issue if you think about it.
If I had more time, I would get you to elaborate on that one. We're seeing some big trades in the side lanes once again. Jug is very injured bottom lanes. I guess there will be no kill quite yet because Tiani has no mana remaining, but wait. He has a Mango. He is ready to game once again.
Yeah. Tanya is landing on Mars is really good. I remember landing against him a couple games, like in houses, I think mostly because I don't really play too many officials against him. But yeah, his landing on Mars is really obnoxious. He's really good at using the fact that Mars hits abnormally hard early on, and so he just contests all of your CS, and it's really hard to pressure Mars as well because he's just got this phenomenal get off me spell in God's Rebuke.
And we have talked about Mars base damage a number of times for good reason. It's very high, and despite not really having right click items, he still has 76 damage. So it's a good day to be Mars right now. Jug has bought damage and he still has less damage than Mars. It's a Blades of
Yeah,
Attack. It literally only gives you damage, and he still
yeah,
has less damage.
yeah, it gives you 9. Mars just this hero has been broken ever since it came out, and it's just they never fixed the damage. Maybe they did nerf the damage, but it's still absurd.
I think Ice Frog just likes the hero, you know? It's one of those things where it would be the easiest explanation as to why Mars has been literally always good. Ice Frog just might like the style of Dota that's promoted by a hero like Mars, who, once again, you put up the circle and it does things. Keeps things out, keeps things in. It centralizes things in a circle, and maybe he just likes that. Maybe he enjoys Mars Arena. It's a cool ability.
It's definitely an interesting ability. It's one of the abilities that has like there are like certain things in Dota that are just like you just like can't. I wish I had a better way of explaining this, but the fact that Arena of Blood blocks projectiles, there's no way to get around that. Like like sure you can go through the arena or whatever, right? To like so that the arena doesn't block projectiles, but no matter what, the arena will always block projectiles. Doesn't matter if you're BKB'd, doesn't matter if you have Revenant's Brooch active. It doesn't matter what. Like the Arena of Blood's always gonna block projectiles, and I think definitive mechanics like that are just like always stay true are really interesting.
Wait a minute, I have a way to fix Dota. Revenant's Brooch goes through Mars Arena.
That would be good. I think that'd be a phenomenal change. The item needs that.
Revenant's Brooch is bad, and Arena is good. So we've Arena's still going to be good, and Brooch is probably still going to be bad. But suddenly you have some counterplay for certain ranged heroes who might buy Revenant's Brooch. I'm not even sure what ranged heroes even want to buy Revenant's Brooch, but I'm sure they could do it now.
Well, it's pretty incredibly bad against Juggernaut. I mean, I know there's different teams, right? Because we're talking about Radiant getting a Revenant's Brooch potentially here, but against Juggernaut, Revenant's Brooch, often activating that item will do you more harm than good. Because against magic immune targets, it does your auto attacks do literally 0 damage. Like they just do. It's not even an exaggeration. They do 0 damage to magic immune targets.
Yeah, it even says it in the description. Deals no damage.
Yes,
That's
it's
unfortunate.
it's really crazy that. I mean, I kind of understand why they added that, but like, it doesn't need to be the way. Like that doesn't need to exist.
Doesn't need to, but it does. That seems to be how things go sometimes. It doesn't need to. It just is. It's the classic. So
Right.
apparently Mr. Lens is back in Dota again, which is good.
Very nice, very nice. I don't know, like Arna's Brooch would be cool if it was more applicable, but it's good against like 4 heroes, and then there's only ever like 4 heroes that can buy it.
And usually those 4 heroes are not necessarily the ones you want to counter the aforementioned 4 heroes where it's good against.
Yeah, kind of, because I mean, yeah, it's partly. Yeah, you'd only ever buy it to like fix a problem. It never like does more of what the hero is supposed to do. Like if you're playing Phantom Assassin against Terrorblade, you're not meant to counter the hero, but you buying the heroes just you're admitting that this Terrorblade has 40 armor. I can't do anything about it. My teammates aren't doing anything about it. I'm gonna buy Revenant's Brooch. I'm gonna try to crit him in these 5 attacks.
And if you do not curve in the 5 attacks, well, you're probably going to get sundered, but that'll probably happen anyway, so might as well always have some kind of extra degree of counterplay, and that's part of the fun with Dota sometimes. And, well, Both teams are ready. Nope, we're not ready. Guess what? We're back to a pause. We're getting the Colin V in the chat. That's my feelings right now. I got big old Colin V. Thank you, Fat Sloth. So we are back to not casting Dota again. Actually, we're still casting Dota. We still have Dota to cast. Dota has not moved.
Yeah,
We're casting a pause screen.
just how it goes sometimes.
It is.
Is what it is. Okay. Now I can think about the game a little bit more in depth. So top lane, the rate it's going, I think the Axe is probably going to kick out the Dusa. He's sitting at 600 gold right now, so he's probably going to finish Ring of Health. And then I think if Radiant plays the lane well enough, they pull back the lane a couple times, give the X some XP by the Mirana fucking off and airing some neutral creeps, then Axe can make it to Vanguard and push the Deuce out of the lane. Mid lane, I think both of these heroes are going to function. I think the Void Spirit is going to have a better game, just by the looks of CS right now, and then both these heroes are going to be able to do stuff. Void Spirit probably can't kill the Axe, though, unless the Axe is already sitting low HP for some reason. So the Void Spirit's probably...
No comment. You're saying?
So Void Spirit's probably going to look to either try to like take this bottom tower with Arena, or try to kill these supports as well, like when they're roaming about. In the bottom lane, I think is actually the lane that's probably going to affect the game the most. If the Radiant's able to stay in the bottom lane and like and
Well,
kill
speaking
the
of bottom lane, batter assault in the spin, that's cookie away by Simon, saving Gianni, and well, luckily I already have my eye on bottom lane, but instead it's top lane. Arrow almost hits. Bit of a splitting of Lucas on that one. Now it's Mirana again, actually not in range to hit the Medusa. Medusa will survive. Bit unfortunate there for Toilet Jork in the top lane, but well, I guess nothing didn't happen again.
So I was saying about bottom lane was that if Radiant's able to do pretty well in the bottom lane and Jug's able to stay bottom and kind of just like spin out waves and either just like spin and run away or spin and TP and then farm around the bottom lane area, then I think that's how Radiant is going to get a lot out of the map right now. It's because they'll take over Radiant, or they'll take over the top lane, because Axe is just going to naturally push out the Dusa, and the bottom lane, the Jug is going to get creeps that probably other heroes wouldn't be able to because of Blade Fury. That's like in like 6 minutes, like 4 to 6 minutes.
Well, top lane against a dive, call on Undying into a very short-range arrow, but the damage will perhaps actually not be enough quite yet. Tombstone has been put on the floor. Patience remains alive. Clueless is hunting, but in comes Mr. Lens on the TP. Patience is still alive. Step in. Remnant is missed, but the Simulate has been hit. Patience actually ended up getting the kill of the Tombstone zombie, so it ended up being a 1-for-1. I'm sure, wait, what's that? Wait, do you see that in the river? Batter Assault's on Simon, Remnant in by Polo. The rune got denied, but also picked up.
And that's what happens if they...
happens.
I've seen that happen before. It's what happens if a hero denies, like it clicks the rune, but a hero picks it up on the same tick that it would get denied. And so picking up the rune gets overridden, but you still get the message.
Wow, that's new for me. Never seen that in my life, and I'm happy to have seen that.
Yeah, it's I mean, I wouldn't say it's common, but you'll see it every once in a blue moon.
Well, Blue Moon has arrived for the first time for me, because as far as I know, that's the first time I've ever seen that.
It's definitely unintended, and it's definitely a bug.
On top lane with Clueless, he's taking a lot of damage. He's just taking tower shots. He's wild.
He bought phase boots, actually, yeah, and he's finishing a 1. This is pretty interesting. I don't know if I agree with this, really, because he's trying to like more actively run at the Dusa, but I think he would pressure the Dusa more, just indirectly, if he tried to just get a Vanguard for himself and then sit in the lane. Because like right now he's trying to like aggressively run at the Dusa with phase boots and battle hunger and dives, but I think that if he just had Vanguard, the Dusa doesn't want to stay in the top lane anymore. And
I regret turning the cam off, because if people could have seen my eyes.
I saw.
God. You just keep talking, just keep saying words. I'm demoralized. We're Yeah, I mean, if he had like even not even necessarily the Vanguard, just bring help would be nice to have sustain in the lane, but instead he's just buying tangos and salves and trying to run at the Dusa, but it's just not working, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think the like finished Vanguard would make him really difficult to kill for a Dire. Like if he has the finished Vanguard and he's like above like 50% HP, which is easy because Vanguard gives you regen as well, then he'd be extremely difficult to gank. Could just farm whatever he wanted. Oh.
Big fight top lane. Nobody's dead quite yet, but it's a 3v3 in the lane. Flesh will be the first death of the fight. Clueless will be looking for spins. Patience is the global call is missed. He has plus armor, but he's very slowed by the Tombstone Zombies and the Mystic Snake. So it's 2 kills for the side of Boring Zone, and they're up 6 kills to 1 at minute 7. Minute 8 now, but still. Minute 8's still pretty good.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. And Axe going down again. This is pretty unfortunate setback for Radiant. Axe is supposed to have a pretty good game for the most part. Because I don't think Dusa really does anything to him, but I'd say that Dusa could literally just leave the lane right now, and this would be a lane win for Dire.
Looking at the other side lane, we're seeing Tiani. He's level 7, but as you mentioned, Jug can stay in this lane, and he has stayed in this lane, which is always nice. I mean, most carriers cannot do this. Jug can. Sure, Tiani's still denying creeps under the tower, but the lane is being pressured by Jug. Mars is not just having a great time. Who's having a great time is the Radiant team ganking Patience from the Dire side jungle. Axe and Mirana are running at him, call into a short-range arrow. Undying will attempt to turn with... Never mind, he's just Culling Blade and dead. So no turn. Undying dead. Dire will vacate the entire top lane area, and this top T1 tower is going to die very, very soon.
Yeah, this is a really good play by Polo. I think that Voicebearer should honestly do the same thing, because even if he can't kill the Jug, like we can see Polo didn't kill the Dusa, you just have to get the Jug out of here, because he's literally getting illegal funds in this bottom lane by spinning the wave out over and over again. It's really hard for just the Snapfire and the Mars to do anything, because they just can't touch him when he's spinning. You have to try to hope that Fat Sloth messes up and ends up leaving spin in a range where they can still get arena'd. But, okay. Looks like Mr. Len's listening to the cast. He's gonna come bottom. That's good.
Good play for Mr. Lens. I don't think Radiant saw that on their ward. They have a ward in the river, but I don't think it spotted the rotation.
It could have, I think, but it...
Bold spin by Fat Sloth. If Tiani committed, he could have went in there with the arena, but he actually lacked the mana for arena plus... Actually, he's a solar. What am I saying? He could have won.
I don't think he would have died. I think if he... Because, like, Starfire's level 4. Maybe if you, like, a really hard dive, then you can get the kill, but diving into an Ember at this point of the game is, like, just a death sentence. Max Sleight of Fist is a piece of shit ability, in all honesty. 6-second cooldown, plus 150 plus your attack damage. You just die if you try to fight into Sleight.
For now, though, we are back to a bit of a standoff. Radiant have smoked and broken the standoff. Call is available. Now used on Void Spirit Remnant in by Polo into the arrow, and that will be a death on Mr. Lens. As that happens in the Tri-Camp, Flesh Canoe has found Off. Off has half mana on Medusa. He'll run for the safety of his tier 2 tower back to the Tri-Camp. We see Clueless and Polo spotting out Simon. They split up. Clueless will rendezvous with Flesh Canoe, but I'm not sure if they want to be here anymore. It'll be a cogs away from Flesh Canoe. Clueless is juking. He has a TP. Flesh Canoe goes down, but can Clueless get away? The answer appears to be yes. So it will end up being a 1-for-1 trade. Clockwork for Void Spirit, but notably, look at Radiant. They are hitting the middle tier 1 tower. They have a siege unit, but the tower will live for now.
Okay, so it's like a pretty aggressive move by Radiant. I think that it's a little bit hard for them to make these moves right now because... Oh, he's fine.
Good escape there by Clueless. Mr. Lens lacked the vision. Knew he was in there somewhere, but didn't know exactly where he was, and that space created, mid T1 is dead.
Mr. Lens is at 230 ping, by the way. Let me check if this is not a one-off thing. Yeah, he's just playing at 220 ping. What a beast.
Bottom lane, Arena was used by Chianti defensively, but the problem is he's playing into Polo 5885, who remnants into the arena, so that is a death on the good old Mars. Now we're seeing Flesh Canoe on a very raucous dive right here, hunting for... Not sure what he's hunting for, but it's going to cost him his life. He's being run at by 4 heroes. Step in by Mr. Lens, remnant into Mystic Snake, into a death on Clockwork, going to Void Spirit. But still, as another 1-for-1 trade, it's favorable. It is a support Clockwork for a core Mars.
Okay. I mean, trading for the Mars is pretty good, especially after he uses Arena. Oh,
We'll see one more
Clueless.
kill. The Invis Rune call into the arrow into a second Culling Blade of the game. That is some plus armor. Clueless.
Radiant's
playing really aggressively on Radiant. I think that it would do them better. Like, I think generally the better way to play Axe is to just, like, get your invincibility item, aka the Vanguard this game, and then just sit in this area, the Dire Jungle, and just, like, farm all of these camps, because it becomes really obnoxious for them to go run up into you. They're just running a Dire over and over again, though. They're gonna need to find this Dusa here, otherwise this is kind of not very useful. It does feel bad if you're the Void Spirit or the Mars, though.
And they
But
do not
they're-
know where they now see Medusa. They see their main targets. Smoke has broken. Blink call on Medusa into a long-range arrow. She's out of mana, but can she be saved? The answer appears to be no. Culling Blade in. 3 stacks for Clueless. In comes Mr. Lens, looking for vengeance. Step in with the Mortimer Kisses. Will mean at least a 1-for-1 trade, but still, Radiance smoked up to kill Medusa, and Medusa is on the sidelines.
bottom tower has
That's pretty big. I think that Dire's reaction to this is, I mean, Dusa probably shouldn't have died there, but it is what it is, you know? I like what Tianyi is doing, though, because I don't know if you recognize it, but it's kind of the correct maneuver when Radiant's just smoking heroes at you 24/7. He just walks down the bottom lane and just A-clicks the tower down until it dies. And, I mean, sure, your Dusa died, but you're securing a game for yourself at least, and, I mean, it's not like your Dusa's having a bad game, she's still top of the net worth.
We have seen a number of these lads games recently where it's like 1 or 2 cores that are just super far behind net worth wise. All 6 cores are actually of similar farm right now, which I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's certainly a notable thing here.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I'd say it's like normal probably. I think if a core is like super far behind net worth-wise, then it probably means that they either misplayed or their lane went really bad, which could also be a misplay, but...
Well, Tiani has Blink. He was smoked with his teammates. They find the Morana, or at least they know somebody's there. They now have eyes on the Morana. Blink Spear used. Arena probably will be safe. Stepped in by Mr. Lens, and down goes Micro Fry on the Morana. Over to top lane. As that happens, we see a hook in by Fletch Canoe, finding Simon on the Snapfire. The Culling Blade again is there from Clueless, so it's a 1-for-1 trade across the map again. Though Dire have TP'd into the top lane, perhaps they want vengeance. Chiani still has Arena. They see Clueless. That is one very hard kill. Despite having no Vanguard, he's still a very high armor hero, and he will walk away in this case.
Olo is pretty high skill this game, I will say. They're a little bit low net worth, which is a little bit of a problem. Maybe they should be farming out creep lanes more. Also a little bit probably of a symptom of their skill build. But I like the way that they're kind of just like positioning aggressively, and I think the moves that they've made so far is really good. Or have been really good.
Now we're seeing another 3-man smoke from the side of Boring Zone. It's Mars, Undying, and Snapfire. Abilities are off cooldown. They find the Ember, the Arena, in for the Spear, and now Polo has been caught. Hook in by Flesh Canoe, but it will not save his Ember. Now it is Clockwork in the middle of the Maelstrom. Oh, that's a fantastic call from Clueless with Item Slash on top. Flesh Canoe's courier is dead, but it will be in exchange for the Undying. Problem is Medusa still full HP and a good bit of mana, breaking down multiple heroes. Dire were just too sustainable. Radiance had abilities on point, but the damage was certainly not there, and as a result, Boring Zone win a very important team fight.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the problem, is that if you're too high skill, then like you have to keep it up during the entirety of the game.
Radiant's middle tower
Because if you ever slip up like this, then the game gets really bad. Because Dire, they've just been A-clicking creeps. Microfy goes down.
This time they equipped Micro Fry with some abilities on top, but it might be in exchange for Tiani. Polo has chains. I don't think Tiani can get away from this one. Ember is remnanted, but there's plenty of follow-up, so
armor
that's at least
stacks to boot.
one more armor stack for Clueless.
How does it? Okay, I should probably no. Okay. It depends on when you got. Actually, I'm not sure.
I think it's
No,
retroactive,
yeah.
right? It increases it once you level it up. Giving 7 armor right now, which seems about right. I'm gonna say it's rounding down from 7.5 armor, which seems about right to me.
Yeah, you might be right. Actually, we'll have to see next time when he gets to level 18. I'm not sure. That was the question I was going to ask though.
Smoke up by Radiant, they find a hero in the track camp. They don't know who it is, and Dire know they're smoked, so the element of surprise is lost. They're running at Off, but Off gets away with the TP, so good escape from that smoke gank. Radiant's got no wards up, they got no hero kills, they only popped on the Undying and couldn't even find him, so unfortunate smoke there for the side of Jork. But we are seeing a spear on Flesh Canoe, who was scouting in the Dire Tribe camp. Arrow will be on the Snapfire, actually from very, very long range. Remnant in by Polo on Patience. Patience goes down. The arena is there on 2, but in comes Mr. Lens. Spear. Kisses on top. Down goes Polo. Hook will cancel the kisses. But Radiant are running low on HP on a lot of different heroes. Good cogs by Flesh Canoe, but in comes Off. Looking for Clockwork. Back over to Axe. He was caught with Mr. Lens and Tiani. He went down during the call duration, and now it is 2 cores dead on the Radiant side. Dire could potentially put their eyes on the mid T1 tower. And they are right there under the T1 tower, breaking down Clockwork, and they will kill the tower right afterwards.
Okay, this game is getting really hard for Radiant. I think every time I say this, then the team that I say the game's getting really hard for they end up losing somehow, but this game looks pretty hard for Radiant. Wait, I don't know if I said that right, but like I feel like the fact that I say this game looks pretty hard for Radiant means they're gonna win now. But I mean, their answers to the Dusa are already limited. Jug is probably correctly not going for any Diffusal Blade build, but it means that Dusa is gonna be harder to kill.
He's not going for the full greedy farm build either. It's Maelstrom into Manta, which is a respectable build, but it will mean that he will lack the same farm potential of that Beef Fury build.
Yeah, I think it's. I think they farm at similar speeds. Although I'm be honest, I was supposed to be the analyst. I don't know why people go the Juggernaut Battle Fury build. I think it's something to do with the timing is nice. I'll have to talk to some good carry players though to understand it. I think that
Yves Saint Laurent, please break down Beef Fury versus Maelstrom on Jug. Thanks.
I can hit up wives, wildcard.wives.
I missed the name Yamsun, but what can you do? We are seeing Radiance encroaching into the Dire side jungle once again. Clockwork is scouting rocket flares, though Dire, I believe, see the clock. But he has the jetpack. They no longer see him. They know he's there somewhere now. The cogs will back Tiani. Tiani has been caught. The hook is in. What a fantastic play by Flesh Canoe. Problem is, he's kind of alone right now. We're seeing multiple engagements go on right now. Flesh Canoe will die on the east side, over to the west side. Flesh Canoe. Fat Sloth gets away there. Blink Call ends up being, I believe, only on the Undying. Arrow hits the Mars. Kisses are on top of the arena combination. Omnislash does a ton of damage, breaking down another of the Dire side heroes. Problem is, Void Spirit and Medusa are still pretty good to fight. They see Mirana. They're running at the Mirana. Force Staff in by time, but the cookie was missed by the Snapfire, so Microfry will walk away on the Mirana. Dire actually smoke for more. Mr. Lens has 1 step and a remnant, of course. Step in. Looking for Microfry into the Dissimulate, and the remnant on top will mean the Mirana goes down. It's a 3-for-2 exchange. Dire lose their Mars and Undying and pick up an Axe, Mirana, and Clockwork.
A lot going on in that team, but I think overall, net positive for the Dire, I want to say. I was laughing in the middle of that fight though, because I messaged Yam said, "Why do people buy Battle Fury on Jug?" And he instantly responded, "No father figure." That guy's a fucking clown.
Hook in by Flesh Canoe with a call from Clueless. They lock down Mr. Lens, and despite a bit of stack stuns, They get a fantastic streak-ending kill on Mr. Lens. No stack of armor via the Culling Blade, as it was actually a bit too late from Clueless, but the result is the same. Big kill on Void Spirit, and Radiant will once again regain control of the Dire side jungle.
Okay, well, I mean, a Mr. Lens pickoff is pretty nice. They're going Roshan. Yeah, this is a pretty good play. Radiant's playing really quick. I couldn't tell if I was gonna say fast or quick, so I said both. But they're playing really fast, and I think it's hard to do that in lads unless you're like really, really confident in your ability to
Seems like they
keep
have
up that
confidence.
level of play.
They have the confidence.
Okay, he yes, he gave me a real answer. He said outscale, I guess.
That wasn't his real answer. No father figure.
You know, he gave them one after another, so I think it's 50-50. One of them's clearly one of them's correct. Maybe they're not mutually exclusive.
Could be corroborating factors on that one. We are seeing a 5-man smoke from Dire. They're smoking into the Aegis. Risky play right here. The Blink Arena on Axe and Ember. Kisses on top. Hookshot was only there on Mars. In comes the Mirana. He's trying to perhaps actually do... No, she has to leap away. She's out of the fights. So with Radiant already out of 2, out of Axe, out of Clock, they will be out of Ember Spirit here. The Remnants into the Spear. Brings down Polo 5-8-8-5. 3 kills, and the Aegis lost. And Radiant get literally nothing in exchange other than a little bit of tier 2 tower damage.
Yeah, like this game feels like it's going back and forth because like some Dire heroes are dying, so then some Radiant heroes are dying, and then some Dire heroes are dying, and you know they're like Radiant gets Roshan, but Dusa's not dying. Dusa died that one time on the mid gank, and then aside from that, she's just been farming and she's been reaping the rewards of when Dire does take successful fights, and that's why the game's going to get pretty hard for Radiant. I think it's because this Dusa, unless the Dusa feeds a bunch of times, then the Dusa's just going to keep getting stronger and stronger, and just going to continue to be difficult to deal with for them. She finished the Scotty now, has 2k gold in the bank. I like the Silver Edge pickup. I think that if she like, as long as she keeps making money, they're gonna win the game. I don't think she needs to hit some kind of. I don't think she needs to hit some specific timing or anything. I think that she can just buy Silver Edge. She can go run around the map with it, find more farm, then probably get like a. I don't really know what people buy on Medusa, like a Satanic.
Middle lane, Mr. Lens goes for a solo kill on Flesh Canoe, and it will not work. Flesh Canoe had the, it's the raw HP to survive that Void Spirit combination, despite it being an E-Blade and a Witchblade. So now we are back to Dire, perhaps, looking at this this bottom side tier 2 tower, and... I made sure to mention earlier that all these cores were similar net worth, but now Dusa is just so farmed. Incredibly farmed Medusa right now.
Yeah, that's a skill issue with split shot in a 15 talent.
That sounds like a more of a skill advantage of just skilling the correct talents and then.
It's it's an issue. It's an issue with the skill.
I guess usually when it's like skill issue, it's more like a negative connotation more than like hey.
Yeah.
It's more of a skill utilization going on rather than a skill issue.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe I'm being too positive, but I'm calling it a skill utilization going on for Medusa. We are seeing Radiant contesting the bottom side push though.
Oh no, dodge this call. Dodge this call, bro. You got this. Come on, it's Axe call. It's not too hard.
Anta is up if he wants to dodge it.
No.
And he's actually blinks calls on Mr. Lens. Arrow from long range will mean a death on Mr. Lens. In comes Tianyi, but in comes the Omni Slash. Clueless slow, Tianyi low, tower dead, Tianyi dead. Fat Sloth is spinning, but off is Stone gazing away. Back to the north side, Radiant look at Undying, but instead turn their eyes towards Simon. Hookshot was missed by Flesh Canoe, Simon will cookie. But no, the call into the arrow will mean the Snapfire will eventually die. That is one more kill for the Radiant side. Sure, they lose their bottom tier 2 tower, but they get 3 kills in exchange. The Void Spirit, the Mars, and the Snapfire.
I mean, like they were just trying to get the tower and then get out, but I think that Dire probably died on too many heroes. I think those are unnecessary deaths. They had the BKB on Tianyi, and then I think they thought that maybe they could fight, but Mr. Lens was just out of position, and he just shouldn't put himself in position to get called there. It's kind of a big deal. Undying is fine.
It was actually wild. Good arrow tank from Mr. Lens, keeping his Undying alive. Tombstone is now on the floor, and Flesh Canoe will be left to die. Ambitious play from Flash Canoe, and actually, if Mr. Lens was not there, it would have been a kill on the Undying, but alas, poor Flash Canoe, he is once again in the grave for the 9th time this game, which I believe is a game high. Yeah, that is a game high.
He did have a lot of one charges in him dying. I'm not super sold that he would have died if he let the arrow hit him, but I mean, it was definitely better safe than sorry. It looked flashy at bare minimum.
What would a max duration arrow? That would have. Maybe I'm not sure if the battery assault was long enough, but I had confidence in Flash Canoe. I had confidence. Well, we are looking over at the second Roshan, I suppose, but it's going to be a while longer. Actually, it's only been 5 minutes since the first Roshan of the game died. Aegis would have expired now, but obviously went down a lot earlier than that, so we are at least 3 to 6 minutes away from this next Roshan. Dire, for their part, have smoked anyways. They're headed into their own jungle, perhaps. They're positioned near the river middle lane, in the middle lane sort of area. And looking at the Dire vision, they actually see very little. I think this all here are pushing out top lane recently, and they'll see Ember right now. But they want more than simply an Ember on their end of the map. They see Jug illusions. They perhaps know he's in the Tri-Camp. But the Dire smoke is expiring in right now, so it is too late.
I like this play by Dire. I don't think they're gonna really like find anything with this move, but just taking over this area of the map. It's actually, I mean, it's probably not what they need, but they can go push out this, like, they can go push out the bottom lane because it's pushing in, and they can go cut across the map, run into this, run into their triangle, and then start killing these 2 waves as well. And then, it's gonna force Radiant to come and fight them, or they're like, yeah. You're gonna let them actually do something on the map right now because they have lane issues in all 3 lanes.
Now Radiant, they've cut middle lane and they're putting eyes on top lane, but both teams want to fight, but they don't want to fight a bad fight. Flash Canoe mid lane, will he get caught? No! Good spin reactions from Fat Sloth. And now it's Clueless going in. Link call on Tianyi. Tombstone is on the floor, but Clueless hits a BKB, as does Tianyi. Flash Canoe has a hook shot, has not used it, and will not use it, so it is an exchange of BKBs. Tianyi and Clueless both use their BKB, and both teams mutually agree to go away now.
Okay, well, they use some BKBs and they disengaged. I think that overall the way that the way that the map is right now is pretty good for Radiant. They're able to control this top area, which means they're going to have control over the Roshan pit. Also, Dire already have this bottom tier too, so they can go push this lane out really far, and then they want to be playing on the top area anyways, so I think that they're going to be looking to try to move over to this top lane. They're Moonlight Shadowed up again on Radiant though.
They see no heroes though. We're seeing some wards get placed instead. It's middle lane. Blink call on Patience into another long-range arrow from Microfry. Polo goes forward. He perhaps wants more kills, but Dire on the 4-man retreat. Fatsoft goes in, but so does Flash Canoe. Has a hook on Mr. Lens. Can they lock this man down? No, they cannot. He steps away once again. Fatsloth has Omni Slash, but cannot find a good target. Flash Canoe is in the Dire base, jetpacked in there, got caught in there, but it's absolutely fine somehow. Now Radiant have their eyes in the middle tier 2 tower, but in comes Tianyi, spear on axe. Has a long-range spear into a step in by Mr. Lens. So it is a 1-for-1 trade now, and Dire want more, of course. They see Flesh Canoe, but he is a very tricky man with a jetpack. We see a TP in from Fatsoft. He'll spin immediately. He hits a shard, hitting Tianyi. Tianyi, BKB's on arena, is looking for Polo. Polo still happy to be ready. Mr. Lens will be enough. So it's one more kill on Polo. 2 cores down the Radiant side, and they see Mirana. The TP. Is it away in time? Yes, it is. But it's still 2 big core kills. And if they were lucky, Roshan would be alive right now. But they are not lucky, so it is not alive.
That is a little bit unfortunate. It'll respawn in 1 minute. However, I do think they're just going to continue controlling this area. If anything, maybe they'll like send Mantis to bottom through mid, but I think it's spawn into
Ooh, this is dangerous for Mr. Lens. He is actually he's fine, there's no damage.
That's pretty funny. He astral stepped into the jug spin and they got first hit bashed by the shard.
Power, I mean just bad luck right now from Dire, but well, they're still playing Radiant Tri-Camp. They're slowing that's also fine, I'll spin away, but what cannot spin away is this top tier 1 tower. It is dead to the creeps. And perhaps this tier 2 tower could go down soon as well to join its tier 1 brethren, but actually they're instead once again moving their eyes towards the Roshan pit. Problem, Roshan's still not here.
It's it'll be up in 10 seconds. I think this remnant will see it. It'll be like right on the edge. I think it lasts 12 seconds, right? Oh no, it lasts 20 seconds. Never mind. Star remnant lasts 12 seconds. So they're gonna. There it is.
Yeah, the remnant
but no one's
just
pinging it out.
activated, but we may have thought it expired actually. I'm not sure if he knew Roshan was alive. I was looking at Dire Vision and it was very, very brief of a Roshan. Radiant have
Okay.
smoked his 5. They know Roshan's alive. Dire are sitting high ground. This could be huge. Smokes have popped. Flash Canoe with scouting. He's zoning. This is good positioning right now. Dire, they see the clock, but that's not the part they want to go on. Roshan's half HP. Jug is hitting. The ward is dewarded, but they've bought some time. Roshan, quarter HP. Clueless is still set up. Now the illusion will scout, but it's hookshot delaying. There's still no vision. And they're still zoning away. That's not doing it. Tiandi is in, but the Roshan will go on a flash off. But can Dire win the fight anyways? Kisses do a ton of damage. They bring down Flesh Canoe. They bring down Micro Fry, but it's only 2 supports. Dire cannot lock down these 3 cores. All 3 will get away, so it is a 2 for Roshan trade. But Radiant claim the Aegis for Fat Sloth and the Shard for, I think, went to Axe.
Yeah, this sounds correct. I mean, it's like, it's not amazing for Radiant, but I think what is good for Radiant is that Dire has been stronger for probably like the last, I was like 8 to 10 minutes. And then instead of controlling the top area of the map, more specifically like this triangle, which they have 2 wards in, they just kind of back off and they give Radiant the Roshan. So they're gonna, like, when these Radiant support heroes respawn, I think it's gonna be hard for Dire to just run up the high ground. I think they're gonna need to need to continue amassing their lead.
Hookshot in on an illusion mid lane. The Flash Canoe still wants to fight. He's silenced in a very low HP, but he still has a will to fight, apparently. Rocket Flare will scout. Radiant pursue. Polo has the Slight and Chains combination. He will miss it. Now it's a Tombstone on the high ground. Clueless runs forward with Fast Sloth. Medusa has been bashed, but Dire seem to like this fight. We now see a call on Mars. And we see other fighting to the north side of the fights. Now, Slash brings down Simon, but Radiant still need to kill more than that. They will lose their clockwork to Mr. Lens and Off's damage, but back to Polo. He has a slight chains on Tiani. Tiani's being on cooldown. Call is in from Clueless. Fire from Sapphire, but both Patience and Tiani are dead. Now it's Dire. Perhaps looking at your position. They have their Snapfire back. Polo is in, but he's BKB'd. He's still fighting. Mars buys back. In comes Axe, looking for big damage. The call is missed. Polo remnants away, and Clueless has been silenced and speared for damage. Clueless has fallen. Radiant have lost 2. Dire technically win the fight, but it is at big cost. That is 2 buybacks used right there.
Yeah, they do use 2 buybacks. They don't get Aegis. I think they're going to. It seems like they're gonna just force going high ground right now, but I think after this Axe buys back, they won't really be able to get anything. Medusa's really strong, though, I will say. Has the 25 talent now and the butterfly finish. She is quite the issue.
He has having some mana issues though. I mean, she has a lack of mana on Dusa. Tiani runs for Mr. Lens. Spear is up, locking Ember to the tier 4 tower. Step from Mr. Lens. Ember, is he dead? Yes, he is. In comes Flash Canoe on the Dire side, back lines, but it'll cost him his life. Both Axe and Ember by that. We're seeing a 3-man call from Clueless. What a huge call! Mr. Lens dead. Tiani low. He is incredibly low. He's being hunted by Vatsoff. The bash in. Mars is out with a dieback. Polo, remnants in. Form off. Off is low on mana. Ember low. Medusa low. Kisses active. Bash in. Patience out. Remnant in by Polo. Oh, Medusa gets away with the Silver Edge. What a miraculous escape by Off. As all of that happens, back to the south side, Micro Fry and Fat Sloth bring down Simon Snapfire. That too is a dieback, sure. Medusa gets away in miraculous fashion, but you lose 4, including 2 diebacks. It was at the cost of Radiant's buybacks, but now Radiant have a window to run it down the middle lane.
That was Excuse me. That was all no pretty forced by Dire, I'd say. Like they were kind of they probably didn't get as big of a lead as they needed, and then I think that they forced that high ground at a kind of poor opportunity. Now it's like really easy for Radiant. I think yeah, Fastlaw just sends a full Scotty on the courier. This is like bare minimum one lane, but even when they all respawn, they're still gonna have Aegis for like 30 seconds, so I think they're gonna be able to get 2 lanes.
The classic situation where Radiant, this is so huge for them. Like they were on the back foot for so long, but one nice team fight win with diebacks, and they have turned the entire game around. Mars and Snapfire are alive in 20. Dire defend with 3. The racks remain alive, but that sloth will grab them and spin away. Stone Gaze is active. It will cancel the TP of Clueless, so one of the Radiant cores will end up dying in the Dire side base. That is a dieback on Clueless. He is dead for 106 more seconds. But can Dire punish? They will have 5, and they'll be fighting 5v4 for about 100 seconds. But will that be enough time to get some barracks? Let's go find out.
Here, okay. Well, okay. They don't have Aegis. They don't have Axe for 80. Still, I don't really like that Dire is just kind of hard forcing these high ground fights. Like maybe this one works out if Radiant misplays their fight a little bit, or if Radiant does, like decides to go in before their Axe is alive. I think they're kind of just hoping that Radiant makes a mistake, though. I think that this upcoming fight's more about if Radiant messes up and if they play it perfectly.
Here we go. Medusa again has walked high ground. Manta activated. Tombstone on the floor. Polo will be the primary defender with that sleight of fist. But Medusa is very strong. Still #1 net worth and still willing to do a lot of building damage. Dire's wave will be coming in, so backdoor will be once again lost. Polo will get it on the defense. Step in by Mr. Lens. Damaging Fat Sloth, but Dire have their eyes on the prize. The middle barracks will fall. So now, Dire have equilibrium in this middle lane. It's full racks versus partial racks. And they move bottom. They want equilibrium bottom lane as well. Again, Medusa has about 2/3 mana, still is hitting buildings. Arrow from long range is on off, but can they kill this man? Remnant in, spin in, Medusa remains alive. Hookshot is there, on Snapfire. Polo finds backlines, zoning to Yanyi. Flesh Canoe is dead, but it is at a great cost for Dire. Dire are on the run. They may lose heroes. Arrow brings down Simon, but off keepers away. Radiant leave their base. They hunt. They see multiple cores. They see Mr. Lens. He TPs away in time, perhaps. Yes, he does. Call is late. Back over to Patience. He's spun on by Fatsoft and brought down. So Dire actually get away with a pretty good retreat. Sure, they lose both supports, but all 3 cores, who were all in a very dangerous spot, get away.
Well, they do get a Rax on Dire, which is nice. Radiant got 2 melee Rax. I think that Radiant can kind of use this one team fight though to just control the map for a little while. If, like whoever gets the next Roche is probably just going to win the game off of it, and I think that Radiant are stronger overall in these team fights, and I think that they can push out the side lanes more easily. So if they're just able to push all the waves out and then probably like control this area right here, this one, then they'll be able to control the next Roshan, win the game off of that.
We are looking at third Roshan. It will be alive in anywhere from 15 seconds to 3 minutes. And again, both teams are alive on 5. Radiant taking all the outer towers, and you mentioned this sort of area of the map where Radiant could play if they want to maintain that Roshan bit control, and well, if they do so, it will come in handy in about 2 minutes, because that is the Roshan respawn window. It is just under 2 minutes, so around average luck for the Roshan respawn window. But Radiant are splitting up. They're split farming right now. This could be dangerous from them. Clueless will grab the outpost. He still has no buyback for 2 minutes. Dire have smoked up as 3. They may find Axe here. Step in. BKB is activated, but Dire still want the Axe and the Clockwork. Axe, she will blink away. Now we're seeing chains on Mr. Lens. Into the arrow. Aeon Disc has been popped. In comes Fatsoff. Omni Slash. The damage. It's massive. But in comes Stone Gaze from off. Patience dies and buys back. Stone Gaze still is active, stoning Flesh Canoe. Now we're seeing Arena there on 2. It's Blues and Flesh Canoe, but they might just kill Tiani in the arena. Tiani has been called down. The trade is for Clockwork. Now we're seeing Jug and Murata hitting Mr. Lens. Remnant in by Polo. They want Void Spirit, but Medusa is doing so much damage. Murata, low. Jug, low. Murata, dead. Everyone low. Patience dieback. Mr. Lens dead. He will buy back. Medusa is still fighting, but she's out of mana. Polo has been kited. He has the remnant, and he just gets away in time. Into Simon. Scatterblast. The damage isn't enough. It's so close. But no! The call again from Clueless! The huge two-man call! Now, Polo will get away. Mr. Lance could not pursue. Clueless is the man who is in danger, but no! The spin! The bash from Fatsoff brings down Simon. They head to Dusa. Dusa is bashed. Dusa is dead! Toilet Jork! Somehow, someway, win the team fight quite heavily. Both teams commit a massive bounty of buybacks. But it is now Radiant playing as 4. They still have buyback on Jug, and Roshan has just respawned.
Toilet Jork are a beast at playing team fights. They actually, like, all their cores barely lived with a tiny bit of HP. I mean, Clueless ends up going down at the very end. Oh, Mr. Len? This is...
Once again, dangerous play from Mr. Lens. The Aeon just came off cooldown literally right now, but Radiant pursue again. The jetpack, the hook shot, the remnant, the arrow, the kill! A dieback on Mr. Lens for 2 whole minutes!
I think that's just gonna be a game. I don't think Dusek is able to, like, she has a Scotty, or she has a Satanic Finish, sorry, but I don't think this is going to be enough. The Jug actually just, like, the Jug can kill her with the 25 tile. Okay, I say with the 25 tile, he's level 29. But in an Omni Slash duration, plus with the MKB, Dusek can very easily just die.
This is unbelievable. We are seeing this 3rd Roshan of the game now. Aegis, Keys, and the Aghanim's Blessing. Perhaps all of them might just go to Fatslav, though there are many good Ags in the Radiant team. You'll see Fatslav grab the Ags and the Aegis. Polo 5885 grabs the cheese, and, well, we know Mr. Lens has dieback. He'll still be dead for 70 more seconds. So for Dire, it is a possible defense, but it is very, very difficult.
It's I mean, this is defense. Okay, well, I think that Mr. Lens is going to be alive before the game ends, at least. But this fight is looking just very difficult for Dard to win overall.
Yanni, he
nice
wanted
play.
the big play, but the spin from Fastsloth. Mars has BKB, will walk away. And good thing he did not die. He did not have buyback there.
Yeah, I mean, when you're expecting a spear, it's definitely dodgeable on these Lifestealer and Jug type heroes that have an instant cast ability. Or like BKB heroes as well, but...
This is not the time to pause. The wraparound smoke moonlight shadow. Literally in the Dire base. They have stepped onto the high ground.
They see them. They see them on Dire. Because they have the sentry down. And then I'm pretty certain you have vision of your base there.
This is going to be the fight. This is going to be the game deciding fight. But if they can hold for Mr. Lens, he's only dead for 21 seconds, and I don't think you can get Megas in 21 seconds here. Ooh, this is high stress right here. I'm just giddy right now. I'm giddy because I know what's about to happen. I don't know what's about to happen, but I know what is going to happen is going to be fun. And I'm ready for it.
I have a feeling that Dire's gonna win this team fight somehow.
They are down once again a number of key buybacks. They are down 19,000 gold Aegis cheese, but what they have is Medusa. And what they will have in 21 seconds is 5 heroes.
I think it's pretty safe to say the game's not ending in 21 seconds.
Yeah, barring a blink call, dieback Dusa into Rage GG call. Yeah, probably not happening.
Dusa's a rapier kid, but I think that she might need an
go.
item that's more short term.
Blink call. No! The cookie stun keeps Medusa away from the call. Hookshot is on Patience. Arena's in on 3. Simon down. Tiani will use himself. He is incredibly low, but Stone Gaze will not keep the Mars alive. Now it's Dusa on the run. Void Spirit is responding in 2 seconds. Dusa is hitting a bunch of heroes, but the arrow again on Medusa. She's out of mana. She's out of alive, and she's out of buybacks. It's now Mr. Lens in the literal 1v5, and that is going to be the end of the game. GG is now called, and we are headed to game number 2.
Willie Jork beasted this game, to be honest. I think that they probably shouldn't have won this game, but the way that they did play this game was like really high tempo. It's like pretty inconsistent, but this game, Dar wasn't able to finish off the game with their lead, so they ended up pulling it out ahead.
This was a good game of Dota 2. That's what this was. It was a good game of Dota 2. I, for one, enjoyed it.
Well, it was back and forth. So it's pretty good.
I mean, the only problem is it's getting kind of late already. It's already 10:38. We have finished.
It's Friday, you know.
It is Friday. You are right, but
I think I have COVID.
You COVID?
Yeah, I think so.
That sucks. Feel better.
Thank you. All right, so you're saying?
I guess yeah, we've got nowhere to be. We're just casting some dotes.
True.
We are back in the lobby for game number 2.
Likewise.
I guess I'll turn my camera back on. Yeah, there we go. We're back.
Oh.
We're back, baby. I want to turn your attention to the graph. Look at this graph.
All right, let's take a peek at this giraffe. Which one? Team XP, player net worth?
Team XP and net worth. That is a lot of ups and downs right there.
It's closer than I thought. Or what's it called? It's less crazy than I thought it was going to be. It remained pretty close to that 50-50 line the entire time.
I guess player net worth is another interesting one because you can see the Jug and Medusa lines. They're so even for so long, and then suddenly it's just not. Medusa buys back, Jug gets the Aghanor's Blessing, and then that's just that one's over.
Yeah, it's really does just give you 6,000 net worth.
So we are being told that Toxic Tacos took game number 1 against Sus.
You know, I can believe that.
Because when we left, Sus were up by 4,000 gold. And we have
it was a 56-minute game. Nara had 2 rapiers on Dusa.
I'm seeing a trend here. Sus seem to have difficulties closing out games.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, they probably botched some team fight or something. I'd have to see what happened, but I can confirm they did in fact lose.
Keep the confirmation.
Keita had 0 kills on Doom. That's actually really crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a core Doom have 0 kills at the end of a game.
What can you do? I mean, maybe.
Wait, what, did I have 0 kills? Hold up, wait. Maybe when I played against that team, I had 0 kills at the end of the game. Hold up.
Okay, if you're the one who has
I
zero
played Doom
kills on that
offlane
team,
against them, and but rolls. Oh my god, I owned. I had 5 kills. We lost the game in 20 minutes. I had 5 kills. What's my team doing?
where is where is at foreplay when you need him?
Oh my god, my lane was Doom Nyx, and we had to lane against Wraith King Undying. Fucking snore.
A lot of melee heroes right there.
It is his 4 melee heroes.
Seeing Teddy go off 5-1 and 16 on Mars. Shout out to Teddy.
He found the game very quickly as well. Yeah.
You know, they won that. They won lads with Teddy, and they haven't won lads since.
True. I see.
Seeing a trend here.
What happened? Does he not play the game anymore? Or?
I don't know. I think they kicked him because I'm not sure if they kicked him or he left, but it was one of those like, hey, skill issue things because despite him literally being called immortal player, that is false advertising. He's a divine player, so they got rid of him for an immortal player, and they have not won that since. He also nerfed Sand King, and that was kind of his hero.
Mm. Okay. Lobby's almost filling up.
We're trying. We're desperately trying
Game
to
two tacos versus us. Tacos is winning pretty handily.
Wait, what?
In game 2, I'm on twitch.tv/mathmagician10, and they're up 5k gold minute 15, which is like pretty whatever, right? But they're up kill score as well. 4 play died twice on Wraith King.
Yeah, I have a DoorDash ad, but after that I'll find out why that's happening.
They got sniper. They got a high net worth sniper. I think it's a mid sniper by the looks of the draft.
Is it Nara or MSY playing it?
They haven't hovered it yet, but I do see that Nara's playing Jug, so I have to see if it's MXR.
Yeah, that have to be him playing it.
Snow did feed.
He'll do that sometimes.
Oh, Sus. League of Legends has also died.
4 play's going in the Fiend's Gate. Wait, it's a Radiant Fiend's Gate. Never mind.
Alright,
Four
Nara
play's
dominating.
the sort of player that would go in the enemy Fiend's Gate.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what that means, but yeah.
He's a bold player. He's hops. You don't always know what the enemy Fiend's Gate's going, right? But
You never do, actually, I think. No, that's a lie. You don't always, yeah.
you seldom
Most of
do.
the time you don't.
You have vision, of course, but other than that, you don't know
Yeah.
where it's going. And hey, man, sometimes you just hop in the enemy Fiend's Gate, but it was not.
Ooh, one of the DKs had a I saw it. I saw Math Magician click DK and I saw Midas in the quick play. It is KU DK.
Not again. No.
But he has a blink. He had a blink. He was like Treads blink and then he had Isaac, yeah, he had Treads blink and then he had Midas Shadowblade keyed. Beast. I mean I can understand the argument for not needing a BKB this game.
Yeah,
Although
Black Hole, Wallace Punch, Jug damage, Sniper damage. I guess so. Yeah.
yeah. Midnight Pulse also goes through BKB, yeah.
I'm going to take your word on that one. That sounds correct.
You can look it up right now. It does magic damage, but it goes through BKB.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Logical.
That hero's good, you gotta know about it. Did they drop the DPC cards? I just randomly got 14 packs. Yeah, they did it a couple days ago.
I have 10 unopened packs I'm just chilling on, waiting for.
I haven't gotten the flares that I was hoping for. I think I have I got 3/5 of 5 rat and they're all bronze. But I got
for a golden speed, golden game lead that speed.
I got a golden Samuel boy and I got a golden Hi underscore Shaggy. Some Seth.
There's some value to be had with a golden swimming boy, and probably a golden high underscore Shaggy as well. But I also was
No.
assuming that the cup will
No.
do well, and
Radiant team ban.
probably won't. So what can you do?
That's getting seventh.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they could get eighth potentially, but seventh is probably a smart estimate.
No. The cut's not getting eighth. They're getting seventh or sixth, and I'm manifesting them getting seventh.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to really enjoy
Seconds
the
remaining.
manifestation of still getting relegated from Div 1.
5 seconds remaining.
And they did escape relegation last season. They were favored to be relegated, and they weren't. So, hey.
They were, yeah. They like very. I mean, well, they took a game off EG, right? Like they clearly.
Dire team ban.
I wouldn't say they were definitely a tier above the teams that got relegated.
Radiant team ban.
Like this shit are simply two based.
What can you do? If they had a better manager, they would have been a better team.
Sure.
We are we are into game number 2 though. They guess what they didn't do?
Tag correctly.
They did not
Win?
tag the wins correctly. So I have to go into OBS and click my thing labeled series score and have to edit that. Man.
Yeah. You only gotta do it. It's the best of two. You only gotta do it once.
I'm just gonna put Jork 1-0 zone. That's good enough, right? People
You-
will know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
You can just say Radiant 1-0. I mean, yeah, like there's different ways to go about it. So, was CK the hero that was left in? Wait, was it CK Huddle Band? Because I remember
CK
there
was
was.
banned game 1, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so I think
5 seconds remaining.
they're playing the same sides as well. So yeah, I think Boring Zone banned Coddle CK,
Dire
and then
team
Radiant banned Pugna Storm. This time, they banned Undying Storm. Didn't want to play against the Undying. Take the CK for themselves. But Boring Zone let them pick CK, so they must have some kind of an answer to it. Because they elected to ban the Pugna instead of rebanning the CK.
I'm going to the bathroom real fast. I'll be right back.
Okay. Enchantress 6-pick. Sure fell off a little bit, but still does everything that Enchantress does. Still pretty good. Let's see what the chat's going on about. Tacos took game. I was sleeping. Didn't have my energy. Can't relate when I stand in. I close out the games. True. They're using quite a bit of reserve time on this 7-pick on Boring Zone. Did they get a draft penalty again on Radiant? That's really funny. That's actually, it's not that funny, but that is kind of funny. Underlord pick on Dire. And they run back the Clockwork. Okay. Well, I didn't really get to talk about it last game, but it's pretty interesting that Boring Zone picked Snapfire into Clockwork. That's probably one of the worst Snapfire counters because Clockwork's able to extremely easily scout out the Snapfire ulti with Rocket Flare and then cancel it from like 2,000 plus range with hook shot. Wait, actually, I said it was the other way around. Well, didn't I at the start of the draft? So I mean, I guess it's a little bit of both ways, but it's yeah. I'm just fucking lying through my teeth, spreading misinformation over the internet. Yeah, I guess cooking people out of Clockwork is probably a bigger deal than getting your ulti canceled as Snapfire. Deuce ban, Jug ban. Kind of surprised they banned Jug actually, because I think they're. Maybe it's just because they picked the last game. They want to make them pick something new this game, but I don't think Jug is the best hero at punishing Underlord. It's probably like pretty good, but I think they're definitely like Monkey, Razor, some other heroes come to mind that are better at just abusing the fact that Underlord can feed early on the laning stage. Ursa. Yeah, those are probably the main ones. I think Sark is a little bad, so probably not the best using Underlord.
That's an Underlord. And that is another
Yeah,
Clockwork.
yeah, they run back Clockwork. I think Underlord. I mean, it's pretty good against CK, right? So it's pretty reasonable. They're using up a lot of reserve time on board. Did Radiant do Radiant get
Dire team pick.
minus reserve time for the entire series, or is it just supposed to be for game one?
I think it's supposed to be for game number 1. I didn't check, so maybe they
I
did, maybe
have
they
a
didn't.
feeling I have a feeling that they got it again this game. I don't think it matters. If they really care, I'm sure they can pause and get away within the draft.
10 seconds remaining.
I know I'm
Scrim
not an
tactics.
enthusiast of pausing in the draft.
I mean, they got a very valid reason for it. That's it. They're wrongly taking up their reserve time.
I guess they also wrongly delayed our series by half an hour, so it's you give and
Yeah,
take
but I
sometimes.
mean, they already
Technically, they could have been forfeited game 1 if Warriors really wanted to.
yeah, but they didn't. They won game one.
That's when you do the salty rulebook. I'm like, all right, we lost game 1. It's a salty rulebook.
5 seconds remaining.
Hoodwink is a pretty honestly, I'd say this game. It's like I guess it's pretty good against CK and Clockwork. You can escape cogs with Sharpshooter, but doesn't pair particularly well with Underlord, I'd say. And then still you can still get scouted by the Clockwork even if the Clockwork can't solo kill you with Hook because of Rocket Flare in the trees. Think that we will see a mid laner picked here. That's not a mid laner. It's
Could be
Skyrat.
a mid laner.
You think so?
I'm not saying it will be, but I'm saying it could be.
I'd be surprised.
Expect the unexpected.
There was
possible.
there was one there was one Skyrat mid game at the major, I think, and it was by 9, and they lost that game, and that was during their like a defeated streak where they lost like 4 games over the first like 6 days of the event.
What can you do? Yeah, it's probably the Skyrath 4 with the Legion 3. We were mentioning in the game 1 draft that Clueless is an enthusiast of like Axe and Legion Commander. We saw Axe game 1. It's now banned. Game 2, it's the other hero we mentioned, Legion Commander. That's something. That's some information we alluded to earlier, and it's come back in handy again another hour later.
He's high level Dota Plus Legion. I will check Clueless rank level 27 LC. Not bad.
The classic Dota profile scout. Like, all right, what 3 heroes is the show? Okay, those are heroes.
I have heroes that I always put heroes that I don't care about getting banned. So like right now I got Tinker, Ember, OD. It's like, are you really you gonna ban these shitters right now? Like, are you gonna ban Tinker in, in the current patch?
Bad Tinker, bad Odie. I guess we'll know Naga's bad when we start putting Naga on your profile.
Dude, I feel like Naga's good, but it's not really getting that many pick.
10 seconds remaining.
There's a
I was like
patch coming
really,
in 5 days. Maybe he'll get buffed.
5 seconds.
I'm not sure what they would. I feel like Naga's in the kind of position where I feel like this hero is like perfectly like.
Dire team
I think this
ban.
hero is like exactly where you want it to be balance wise, where it's like it's not. You don't see it often, but it's good. You know, like no one thinks that Naga's bad, but you don't see it like super often. I think that's like the ideal state of balance for a hero.
I agree.
10 seconds
I agree.
remaining.
Pickable but not very picked is a good spot to be for a hero right now. Obviously, there are a lot of those, but what we have on the floor is a number of very interesting picks. We have a DP pick. Obviously, DP was a lot more popular a few months back, but she's still certainly viable. And the only concern is, can they keep the DP alive this game?
10 seconds remaining.
Uh, okay, well, Enchantress heals pretty good, but I will say, like, not really. I don't think so. I think that if the LC presses dual on Death Prophet and then Skyrat clicks ult and then silence, I think that the DP will die a lot of the times.
We are now being rated, so for those who are joining from the Toxic
Oh, shit.
Tacos versus Sus series, welcome to Toilet Jork versus Boring Zone.
Who won game 2?
Toilet Jork. Wait, did Tacos win 2-0?
Yeah, Tacos did 1-2-0.
What can you do? For those who were not here for game number 1, though, between Toilet Jork and Boring Zone, it was a fantastic game 1. Toilet Jork won it after a very back and forth mid to late game situation. Boring Zone, of course, they have now started their season 0-1, but they look to make it a 1-1 situation now. Toilet Jork are 3-2, and it's a really respectable 3-2 as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in game number 2 here.
Yeah, I'd say their favorites going into the game right now, but there's a lot of the game left to be played. I like their draft more so far, I will say. I think that they need a mid hero right now. Lena's band. I was gonna say Lena looks really good, but is in fact not pickable.
I know last game we were not a fan of their draft, but they ended up winning anyways. So now that we're feeling more favorable about their draft, usually you'd say that would be a good omen, but usually...
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
We seem to be... I'm not sure, I think it's just this lad season. But before the lad season, we were pretty on point, and then the last season starts and we've been bad luck for whoever we've been predicting draft-wise.
I don't like this Lesh pick, I will say, so maybe they understand the whole meta going on.
Imagine, that's actually your strategy. Right. What is logical going to think is bad? Yeah, it's blue deer hero. Let's go pickets.
I don't, yeah. I think Lesh has a bad matchup against Death Prophet, against core Death Prophet. I think that Lesh does not particularly enjoy playing against Hoodwink. It's probably like fine or good against Underlord, but I don't think it's particularly good against Ench. PA. Yeah.
I don't like that pick.
I think this hero is
PA
just
gonna get
hard.
run over this game.
I think a PA, you just have to be a beast on PA, literally. Because if you ever mess up, then all of a sudden the game gets out of your hands. Like there's some other heroes where it's like if you mess up 1 or 2 of your timers, like do so, right? Like you as long as your first 15 minutes goes pretty well, then it doesn't matter if you mess up a fight or 2, you can still maybe win the game if they make like half a mistake. But PA, the game is in your hands until you fuck up once, and then all of a sudden it's like completely out of your hands. At least in my experience, especially in these kind of like lads level games. His lane is already going to be a little bit suspicious. I can't think of a good word to describe it. His lane's already pretty difficult. I'd say laning against Sky LC. Even with the Enchantress in his lane, I think that they're going to really have to feed off the Skywrath Mage. I think we might see the Skywrath Mage get press attacked a couple of times. I would say that would probably be correct decision.
I guess if PA wants to like get like a corrosion, that could work, but it would delay any larger items. So it's always a risky play playing PA in these lanes. So we're both a fan of this Radiant side draft. It appears. At least
It's
I'm always
1-1.
not a fan of it.
It's 1-1.
So if it ends up being 1-1, then that's going to be certainly laughed at when all said and done. But we are here now for game number 2. We are coming on into the laning phase, and well, I'm excited to see what happens with these lanes. I think this middle lane will be pretty interesting. Not the middle lane itself, but once these rotations come out, minute 6 or so for that power rune. For those who are wondering, my name is Badger. I'm joined by the one and only Logical Dota. The cams are now off, but our applications to cast for your DPC tournaments are open. So if you want to hire us to cast for your DPC events, contact me on Twitter. By the way, that was a terrible parlay, but correction, terrible segue. But it'll work out, I'm sure. Had to get it in there.
Okay, what's going on level 1? Dire makes this maneuver again where they just kind of bring 3 heroes into the Radiant jungle. They don't really have any chance to kill people, I think, but they still just run it. Will they? They're getting 2 runes, I think. Maybe 3 runes?
If you are a
Audio.
fan of pauses, you
You
are
will
in the
love
right
Radiant.
place.
You will love Toilet Jork.
I believe this is the 5th pause of the series, on top of the series starting approximately 25 minutes late. So if you're a fan of moderately sized delays, you were in the right place. Funny, they were roasting Artorias too, but when does Artorias pause this much? That's my question. We're seeing fighting in the river and in the Radiant side jungle, but it seems like it will be 2 runes. Wait, never mind. Dai get 3 runes. They will come out on top nice and early.
Alright, I guess their maneuver to bring 3 heroes into the Radiant jungle was a success. He did get Q level 1 on Underlord, though. That's never what you want to have. Vatsalot did take crit level 1 also. It's good. Yeah, okay, this is a good play. I like this. She can beat some ass.
And knowing there's no atrophy or it's time to fight, and sure, you put down a fire and Flesh 2 has battery assault, and we have another plus, but this time by the other team. We're
Customs.
customs. That's what hotkeys is he referring to with that?
I have no idea. Anyway, I'm pretty surprised that Vatsalot has the 3rd spell level 1. I think this is a misclick. I don't think that anyone would ever try to get this spell level 1.
Well, he has done it nonetheless, and he will return to his hitting of creeps, and he will get a crit! The crit it's paid off immediately.
I think the crit, I think he would have gotten the last hit anyways. I think he had timed it correctly.
What if
He
he rolled low on damage, 50 of damage? Maybe he
think-
maybe he need that.
He lifestealed maybe like 5 HP?
How much does the tango heal right now?
7 a second.
Let's see here. Duration is 16. I'm trying to figure out the math by how much gold he saves by having to heal there, but it can't be that much. It has to be very
So-
low.
You heal like 120-ish?
Now, I mean for how much gold you save on a tank. Actually, yeah, it'd be like 2 gold savings, but the problem is he's just dying bottom lane, so the gains have been lost.
It's gonna take out 110 gold savings of his clockwork.
Instead, it's top lane first blood going down, his patience on the enchantress dying, and Micro Fry was blinked on by Off, but Off could not finish the Skywrath Mage kill, so we are back to a bit of farming in the lanes again, though of course both these side lanes have been fairly active so far, so more kills might be in our near future.
Nice mustache.
I forgot also, Flesh Canoe does not buy selves. Yeah, sending out hella tangos though. He's got 3 tangos and then 3 more coming in his stash.
Well, this time, top lane Skywrath Mage goes down. You mentioned how Dire might focus on the Skywrath Mage in this lane, and it ends up happening. Off actually has a Blightstone right now, so that's some significant minus armor on a hero who is very susceptible to minus armor.
Yeah. I mean, Skyrath the Mage definitely has to be careful with his positioning, otherwise PA and enter 2 heroes that can chase very far in these side lanes. So, you do gotta watch out. I like the way that Dire's playing this right now, kinda. They pulled the lane back just by splitting it, and then this means that they're gonna force the Skywrath to come up pretty far if he wants to contest this lane. Clueless is pretty hard to mess with, but if the Skywrath walks up to like here, I would say, then maybe they might just all in him.
We are still chilling, seeing once again spells being thrown out, but nothing of significant substance. We haven't talked much about this mid lane though. It is Portal on the left taking on Mr. Lens's DP. The CS is a lot more even than the last lane. It's actually top lane. Micropie again is blinked on by Off and Patience. They bring him down, and Clueless will not get a counter kill, so it's 1 more death on Skywrath Mage. But back to the middle lane. What should we be expecting right now with this this DP versus Lesh matchup?
It's like, it's pretty reliant on whoever gets 6 first, because then you just bring one of your supports to the lane, and the other guy will feed.
We're seeing
But
trades in both side lanes. We're going to see deaths in both of them, it appears. Bottom lane's one point back to top lane again. We're seeing a dive from Clueless. Off blinks away from the Legion Commander. Salve is popped by off, and now Clueless again is attacking the T1 tower. He's purged under the tower. Even this is going to die here, perhaps. He's trying to lifesteal again. The Patience and Off are both hitting. Stick is popped by Legion Commander. In comes the blink from off, and now it's another 1-for-1 trade. Across the map, a 2-for-2, though in comes Microfy, again responding to the top lane, looking for the Phantom Assassin. He will not kill him, so it's across the map a 2-for-2.
yeah, okay. I mean, overall, I think that's pretty good for this dire top lane. I think off finishes a corrosion. I want to say no, actually, it's not really have that much money at all. But
It's a disastrous bottom lane, actually. It's a 2-for-0 in Tiani and Simon's favor. They went on Hoodwink, but they only found, well, no kills and 2 deaths.
this is when this lane's supposed to be good for Radiant as well. Like these early levels, you can pressure them because Clockwork does a ton of damage early on, and then level 1 CK stuns, yeah, piece of shit as always. But as this lane goes on, the higher levels of Firestorm makes it really difficult for the CK to lane. You can actually out damage the CK heal sustain, which is kind of rare.
Fat Sloth is not doing too well last hit wise. He's only 13-3 right now. The Underlord has 11 denies.
Atrophy difference. That
That's just a lot of denies.
that's a lot. Is missed on Simon. Unlucky.
Top lane again. The trading has continued. Patience has a Centaur just chilling, doing some stomps and some damage, but instead, Radiant are running at Patience, so now get purged on Legion Commander, but with Micro Fry on the Rendezvous, it might be a bit of a tower dive. Gusто Shot will hit Off. Off is now low on HP. He'll pop, I believe, a Mango. He winks away, sticking and going on Clueless. Mr. Lens will TP in. They want to go on Clueless, but Clueless is just too fast. As all of that happens bottom lane, time on the Hoodwink goes down, so it ends up being a 1-for-1 in Radiant's favor across the map. And perhaps Tiani looked to change that. He looks for Fastloff. Fastloff needs 2 more hits, but he cannot find that last hit. He turns to Flesh Canoe, but again, Flesh Canoe is just too fast. Dire do so much more damage, but instead they lose the trades 0-for-1.
Gotta watch out. Fatsloth is.
Both lanes, crazy trades again happening. Duel just got skilled top lane. The duel is one on Patience, and then back to Fastloff, he's still alive. So it's this back and forth bonanza right now.
Pretty good for Radiant though. PA going down. This is pretty unfortunate because
Middle lane, Lesh is going to go down the solo kill to Mr. Lens. Exo is activated. That's a big kill for Mr. Lens.
that's really nice for your DP as well. You're gonna force the Lesh SCP, so now you can't really go to the other lanes. Like ideally on Lesh, you'd like to go to this top lane and try to kill the PA with duel and all your damage, and then take the tower and then TP back mid. But now if you're Lesh, I think you just have to TP back mid immediately to make sure that the DP isn't just shoving the lane in. Yeah, he's gonna have to TP back mid now.
Flash Canoe runs in. Gustive Shot will slow Mr. Lens. Exo is on cooldown, and he only has 1 more Siphon. Problem is, it's a 2-man bushwhack from Simon. Mr. Lens will just walk away, though Radiant still pursue. Battery Assault is now hitting Mr. Lens, but he's just still a little bit too fast, perhaps. Pogs are now on point. Flesh Canoe has trapped Mr. Lens in his death. He gave his life before the cost. That is a good trade. But as all that happens, somehow bottom lane, Fat Sloth kills Tianyi. Tianyi with the Firestorm will bring him down as well, but that is... what is going on in our Dota game right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty nice for the bottom lane. Unfortunately, it doesn't really help him out. Tianyi is still up 700 net worth even after getting killed first.
Tianyi's #1 net worth. Top lane will see a duel on off, but can they get enough damage? There's raindrops on PA now with Mr. Lens arriving. Off will get away, and Clueless tried for overwhelming odds. He did not have enough damage, so Clueless dies. Off escapes. Flesh Canoe is pursuing. He has Rocket Flare, but the damage is still just too short. So again, it's a 1-kill trade in favor of the side of the Dire. We're up to 18 kills at minute 8. And it's going to be one more bottom lane as well. That's off. will almost certainly die here. He's being run at by Tian Yi and by Simon. He's juking in the trees. As that happens, top lane, Flash New goes in for the DP. Back to bottom lane again. Firestorm and Butch both hit the CK. Fat Sloth goes down. Now a 19th kill at minute 8, and Clueless goes in. He has duel up in 4, but Simon has Scurry back to the river. It's Flash New and Polo fighting the patience in Mr. Len. Back to bottom lane again. Digimander has tanked another Bushwhack. The Sharpshooter, the kill on Clueless. Back to the mid lane. Never mind, no fight middle lane. But still, it is utter and complete chaos. Now Dire up to 12 kills to 8. They're up by 2k gold.
I like this play by Off to come to the mid lane here. I think it's good generally to come to the mid lane if you're weak as a carry, because it's like probably the safest place to farm if you just play pretty safely. It gets 2 jobs done at the same time because you're also deep pushing the mid lane. But here, Mr. Lens is really strong, so he's trying to play off his mid DP being so strong, taking the mid tower with him. He's not really doing anything, but
again, Flash Canoe gives
one.
his life for the cause, but he brings down Mr. Lens thanks to his death, so Flash Canoe, he's playing the sacrificial clockwork. It worked out game 1. Question is, will it work out again in game 2?
They lost their mid tier 1 though. Like ideally you don't want to die on Mr. Lens. Especially because he could be a lot more firm than he is right now. Like ideally you can get these items that he has and the finished boots of travel by like minute 9. But I think he's not really playing for efficiency. He's trying to get some stuff done as well. TP to the top lane a few times.
Radiance almost find off with a duel, but just not in range there. And now, guess who's top lane? Speaking of Mr. Lens, it's Mr. Lens. He has Crypt Swarmed out the wave, and well, Radiance have a siege unit coming in, but this is still easier said than done. Good scan from Dire as well. I know something's up.
Yeah. Okay, top lane. Polo comes back to the top lane. He made the same maneuver last game, it's just he did a little bit earlier, so I think it was a little bit better, but still, I like that he's trying to progress the game by coming to the side lanes. Especially because he doesn't have a mid-tier 1 to defend anymore.
Top T1, half HP, and dropping to Edict very quickly. Radiant even Glyphs keep their wave alive, and that will be a dead Tier 1 tower. So both teams have claimed the safe lane T1 tower, but Dire have a 1 tower lead thanks to that T1 middle dying already.
Still, you look at the net worth, it's just Dire top net worth and all their heroes. Radiant, I mean, they played pretty fast last game, but I think Dire can kind of just can hit the creeps like they're doing, and I think they'll be pretty okay. They have solid matchups, core-wise. As long as the PA doesn't fall terribly behind, then I think they're pretty set.
Well, it seems like Radiant still have to make more plays, and they're doing all these plays without Flash Canoe having hookshot. He is still not 6 yet, and he'll get silenced by Mr. Len. Sharpshooter from long range hits him. He is purged by Clueless, but, well, he could not escape his own cogs, and he will drop on the clockwork. Now, 14th kill.
Pretty funny mechanic that definitely won't come into play this game, but is pretty interesting, is that when you purge, Death Prophet's like Siphon can't be purged, can't be like magic immune or at all. If you get Spirit Siphon and you press BKB, the Siphon still hits you, but you just like can't see it. Like the Siphon still hits you, but it like you aren't affected by the debuff or anything. So that's why the shard doesn't hit you if you're BKB'd. But alternatively, if you dispel Spirit Siphon instead of actually dispelling like the link, what it does, it dispels the debuff that says that you can't put another Spirit Siphon on someone. So if you press Spirit Siphon on someone and then LC purges them, you can Spirit Siphon them again, and you can just get 2 Spirit Siphons on them.
That's actually hilarious. All
Yeah.
miscoordination top lane. The support's not on the same page, and Hookshot was blocked by his own Skywrath Mage.
And so the final stage of that interaction, of the Spirit Siphon interaction, is that if Shadow Demon gets the shard against Death Prophet, and Demonic cleanses someone, which constantly reapplies Purge on them, you can just spam Spirit Siphon, and you can just get 5 Spirit Siphons on a target instantly, and be doing 25% of their max HP as damage per second.
I want to see that now.
It works against Slark as well if you just spam it during Dark Pact.
I want to see this in action so badly now.
I like know of the mechanic, but I've never seen it happen.
Yeah, I think if I start spamming DP enough, eventually it'll happen, but the question is how badly do I want it to happen? Do I want it to happen badly enough to like ruin all my games of playing DP every game? Probably not.
It's like you never play against a Slark, right? But it's how many games are you playing in how many games do you play against a Shadow Demon that buys the shard? Shadow Demon's like supposed to be pretty good against DP as well, so you might encounter more Shadow Demons if you just first pick DP every game.
How many times against the DP are you going to see a defensive purge instead of an offensive purge on the DP? That's the problem.
Well, I mean it's the shard now, right? So they're not mutually exclusive because it's the demonic cleanse, not just the
You're right.
not
My bad.
not the shard purge. Still though, I've never seen that. Like I know of the mechanic, I've never seen it happen in a real game.
Clearly, I don't play too much Shadow Demon. I did not know that. What is in the
Well,
card
I'm-
for Legion Commander? Is that a blink? That's a blink. The Dire see the blink dagger. If they were paying attention, they saw the blink on Courier. And they see the Courier go into the Roshan pit. So this situation where Legion is hiding the blink on her Courier. Little does she know, Dire saw the Courier do some wild stuff.
Tiani is like super free farming right now. You can see 7.6k net worth.
I think the bottom tier 2 is just going to crumble right now.
Yeah,
Radiant now ping it, but
especially
it's dead.
especially this actually. God, this is like really like Radiant's trying to do a lot of high skill stuff right now, but they just need to get the basics down. It's like I was look at this. They haven't done anything about this Underlord. They have to go. They have to go duel him with a Skywrath ulti or something to shut him down. Is gonna get like I want to say like an 18-minute Wraith Pact on top of his Atos already.
At
least the PA is
Radiant
pretty
have
poor.
smoked into patient. Actually, what were you saying?
The PA is pretty poor though. 15 and a half minutes and just finished the Battle Fury.
They really want to smoke for patience, but they just couldn't find them there. They popped the smoke, but they didn't know exactly where anyone was, so Radiant did not want to blindly blink into heroes, and probably a good idea in general, but this time, no dual one.
They're just gonna get free tier 1 though on Radiant. Mid tier 1, this kind of a big deal. Not for you.
Silence,
Flushing you dead.
I mean, it's kind of, she looks away. I think he's fine, actually. Now it's Radiant engaging Split Earth on Chiani, but that man is incredibly tanky. Sharpshooter is missed. Microfry is dead. Polo TP's away successfully. Clueless, though, will not be so lucky. Pit is in, and Clueless is out. As all of that happens, Mr. Lens finishes the kill on Flesh Canoe, so it is a 3-for-0, and sure, you got the T1, but unfortunately for them, it will not be free.
Yeah, that's really rough. Oh, they're gonna go portal to some CK illusions.
And they're portaling back.
Yeah, I mean the CK's farming is like a decently rich. More, not more farm than the PA, less farm than the PA, but CK is at least in the top 3 of net worths. This game is all dire right now, though. If they lose this game, this is definitely their game to lose right now.
Here we go. Flesh Canoe again is walking into danger again. Sans Mr. Land Sharpshooter. This time on point. And well, again, I mean, Flesh Canoe got the D ward, but that was again at the cost of his life.
Safe to say that's not worth it.
Yeah, his 7th death of the game now, and well, I guess Flesh Canoe is he's in the mood to die sometimes.
Yep.
Smoke up by Radiant as 3. They have vision of the dire jungle. They know someone's over there, and it will be Chiani, the hardest possible kill, but I believe the damage is just enough.
yeah, he does really easy. They do a ton of damage. Lesh does infinity damage. Skyrat does a lot of damage. They got the lockdown with duel. He definitely dies. He didn't build like the tankiest items, right? He's got Atos and then Glads. Could have like a hood. Probably should have a hood in all honesty.
He still took a long time to die there. Considering he was
come on,
that alone,
he got
tanking a
dual
Mystic
damage.
Flare and Pulse Nova.
He got dual damage. It wasn't that long.
was not that far from not getting dual damage though.
That's 4 seconds. How are you gonna react in 4 seconds?
Good point. Well, we're seeing both teams exchange map area. Dire have exchanged their jungle for the Radiant side jungle. One thing they do have, though, in their favor is this Radiant side outpost. Radiants cannot exchange it, as they have not killed the tier 2 tower quite yet, but they might just go on Flesh Canoe instead. Nah, he's fine. This time he's fine.
Catching the PA is really nice, though. PA is the heroes that's going to actually win the game for you.
Yes, Blink Duel, and there we go. Mystic Flare, Ancient Seal, Concussive Shot, and another dual win for Clueless.
That is definitely a whoops moment.
That's a sneaky ward. Look at this ward. It's a very sneaky ward. Even if Radiant go deward it, it expires in literally 27 more seconds. That's a ward they placed a very long time ago, and it's just not paying off.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Unfortunately, it gets caught by this sentry. But I think that wards like these are pretty good. I think it might be better to be like here. Or like all the way like here. But I like this idea for ward catching heroes. I see this camp.
In the Radiant Tri Camp, it's a 2-on-2. Mr. Lens will tank a Chaos Bolt, and he will be sent to the grave. Patience is on the run. His Force Staff is on cooldown. That'Sloth has Reality Rift, will bring him towards the Skywrath and the CK Illusions. Patience actually stole CK Illusion, I think, but wait a minute. Now he's dead. Hook shot in by Flesh Canoe. Tiandi is caught on the inside. He'll try to work his way out, but he's stunned again by that Split Earth Polo. Duel will be on point. Now a 4th duel win for Clueless, and for the first time, never mind, he just hit 12, so it is still a level 1 duel win. But he is up to 4 duel wins, and Radiant walk on into the Roshan pit. Flash attack. That'Sloth is half HP on the CK, but I don't think that'll matter. I think Radiant gets pretty easily.
Yeah, you heal up real fast. Just by virtue of Chaos Strike, even with the especially with the press the attack. Those are kind of some important feeds by Dire. I think this game is not super trivial right now, and I mean honestly, Radiant is probably stronger than them right now, in a very good position. Off 300 gold away from the BKB, but this is like not what you need to fight. So you're not going to be as strong as a CK, even if you have Battle for your BKB as your PA. You need +1 item, and Deso's probably correct, I think. And like maybe you'll be able to kill a Skywrath mage or like a Lesh. But you don't really have stuns either. Like maybe if you were the one with the LC, then you could kill the Lesh in a dual duration. Your best disable is Bushwhack though. And aside from that, you have Pit of Malice. So you really don't have the best stuns to set up for your PA to just throw out damage.
Well, Dire have found Leshrac. They lack stuns, but apparently they have enough stuns for a Leshrac in a 1v5. He will return to the melee, but he's again caught in pit. He'll use himself once again into the pits. So Polo had Aegis in hand, he no longer has it, and we saw it last game as well. Polo got the Aegis and immediately lost it, and again, Polo got the Aegis and he immediately lost it.
Yeah, that's really rough actually. That's pretty important death there. Patience does get the last hit, but even still, this is just a lot of momentum going Dire. So, ooh,
Ian's Gate in the Pit of Malice, in come the Cavalry. It's a 4-man dive for Clueless, and that is one more core hero dead, and they will claim that top tier 1 tower.
Yeah, no, now the game is just back in Dire's favor. They did use the Exorcism for it, but you don't mind. It's just gonna be a lot of map that Dire is gonna take back. PA is has already won on the Mithril Hammer. Is gonna finish the second one pretty soon. CK is looking.
Finds Patience, fantastic
This is
activation.
not gonna be a kill though.
This is very ballsy.
Not
Hook
the
shot
target.
in. Is there a Cogs? No, he's stunned. Now there's a Cogs. Silence on Hoodwink. Radiant run in. Mystic Flare doing very little damage. Patience has been forced back into the melee. It will be 1-for-1 trade so
His
far.
Wraith Pact
It's a 2-man
is
pit
kicking
again.
ass.
The Wraith Pact, as you mentioned, massive in the Sentry Ward. In the right place at the right time. It's another very good Dire side team fight.
Yeah, I mean, early Wraith Pact like this, you just gotta kill. You literally just can't fight into it. That guy was healing from the Skywrath LT. It's just too much damage.
Link, dual, blade mail active, Mystic Flare actually still on cooldown, but the kill! Ooh, barely goes to Micro Fry. Clueless gives his life, but they'll bring down Tiani as well. So it ends up being good. A very risky duel, high risk, high reward. It ends up paying off. This tier 2 tower is alive, and another duel is won. We're up to 60 duel damage on Clueless.
Look at the Scarth Mage is really rich and he's really high level. So Scarth Mage is level 15 and 3/4. Leshrac is level 15 and a half. He can carry this game actually. This Skywrath is a real beast of the game. He can get an E-Blade, one-shot heroes in duel, or he can get a Hex and try to solo kill heroes. I'm not a fan of this Shard pickup. I hope he doesn't buy this one. But games are always terrible as Skywrath. Took the Arcane Bolt per cast as well, so that you can farm.
He has the money for Shard. He has not bought it though, so there still is hope.
Come on, listen to the stream. Buy an E-Blade instead, or a Hex.
I'm not moving with his inventory. I want to watch this. Wait, never mind. Stuff's happening. We're seeing a hookshot in on 2! A good hookshot in by Flash Canoe. The pit will bring the Dire team in, but there is no Phantom Assassin. He is far away for now. Queensgate away, bring Mr. Lens away. Now we're seeing a duel on Tiani, but Tiani's a very tanky man. Mr. Lens low. Tiani stunned by Split Earth, and Radiant go into the Fiend's Gates. It's a wild play going on. Mr. Lens goes down. Clueless is completely isolated. And now Radiant with the Tiani. Tiani will drop. Flash Canoe somehow still alive. And Fastsloth crits down Patience. Simon. No, the TP. Cancel by the fuels of Polo 5885. And that will be another Dire side death. The overwhelming odds finishing that one. That is a 4-for-0 trade. And as it was looking so good for Boring Zone, it again turns right back around in favor of Toilet Jork.
Yeah, Toilet Jork are kind of just outplaying them in all these fights, game 1 and game 2. It feels like that. I mean, they might not be winning literally every single fight, but the fights, they're winning a lot of fights that they definitely should not be. Maybe they're stronger than them in that engagement, but a 4-for-0, I feel like there's just some outplay going on.
I love Fiend's Gate. I just want to say it. I love Fiend's Gate. What a cool ability.
It's
We saw Fiend's
really
Gate
good.
in by Underlord. Mr. Lens leaves the fight for Fiend's Gate, re-engages through Fiend's Gate, and then Clueless leaves out of the Fiend's Gate. What a cool ability.
Okay. They need some Lincolnses on Dire. Yeah, I like that Off has one queued up right now. I think that too many heroes are kind of feeding to LC plus Skyrat. Alright, now he's got the Hex queued. I don't really know what this shard does in Sky. Like,
One more duel, and that will be a death on Patience. Sharpshooter hits Skyrath Mage, but here we go. Radiant again will die for Tiani, perhaps. Split Earth on point, but in comes off. Destroying Flesh Canoe, but the trade is for Tiani. Mr. Lens arrives with Exo activated with Flesh Cloth. Fastsloth has a Phantasm and a BKB. Mr. Lens has a lot of Spirit Siphons. Underlord, Flesh Canoe, both buy back. Crit down for Clueless. And now it's Polo on the run. BKB is ending in about 4 seconds, but he will not even leave for 4 seconds. It cost him a buyback on Tiani, but what a big turnaround.
Yeah, double kill for Off. That's nice. Level 21 now. There's a lot of back and forth going on, maybe. Every time I say that one team's doing something good, they end up losing the next fight, so these teams just both suck. No one's doing anything good.
Okay, so Shield of Scion gives you int.
And armor.
What is the interaction between... So you get 20 points of mana per insta, right? Or is it less than that?
It's 12, I want to say.
So it's 12 points. So do you get like a full 60 mana every time you cast a spell, or is it like a percentage of your mana pool given, or how does that work? With the...
It's a percentage of your mana pool, I think.
So say you're half mana, casting a spell then give you 30 mana with Shield of Scion?
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't seem very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really particularly good. I'm interested as to why this person bought it. I'm not sure why. Like, I mean, it's kind of cool with Arcane Bolt because it's based off your int, right? I don't think it's good though. I think that it would just be a lot better if Microfi had finished their E-Blade instead. Like, they could just have a full E-Blade at this point with that 1400 gold.
Dire have smoked us 4. They're in the vicinity of the Roshan pit, but Roshan, he has not shown his face yet from the first death of the game. I believe it was the 4th Roshan of the series, but the 5th Roshan is still not back. It will be alive anywhere from 10 seconds to 3 minutes, depending on the luck of both teams. Yeah, I am going to watch this timer. We're 5 seconds away right now. What do we get? We get... That is pretty early. That is in the soonest 1/6 of possible Roshan respawn times.
Both of these teams are playing around it. Oh. It's a little bit hard for Dire to just like smoke on Radiant though, I will say, just because of the way that their draft is. They don't have one of these instant stunned. They don't have one of these instant stuns that are good at catching heroes before they BKB. Like all 3 of the cores have BKBs now, and so even if they get caught, like unless they just don't have the reaction times to react to a bushwhack, they'll just be able to BKB and then run out, or BKB and then TP out.
Top lane, we might see some danger happening. Hookshot was missed by Flash Canoe, and now Clueless. Thought he might get a chance to duel Mr. Lens, who was TPing in, but Mr. Lens wisely cancels that TP. Besides, you know what? My teammates are fine. I'm just not going to join this fight.
Smoking back up on Radiant. That's
They
pretty
go
good
through
play.
the river. What's their vision situation? They don't see much, but they're peeking out the right area of the map. Duelist has popped. Duel is on Patience, a nice, easy target. Down goes Inch, the duel is won, but Enchantress has a buyback. We're again back to a 5v5. Legion Commander now has no BKB or duel, and we have Roshan in play. Dire Smoke as 5. Big potential here if they can find a hero like, say, Fat Sloth. Looking at Dire Vision, they see nothing but the Shrek. They're King the Shrek, they're going top lane. They've scanned. The scan will be on Polo.
Yeah, but he's not dying, I feel like. Yeah, okay.
Wow, that's greedy, but it paid off. What a fantastic dive by Polo. Could have used, could have BKB'd. Instead, chose to use the Illusion Rune to dodge Bushwhack, and it paid off. I don't say it paid off, it happened to work. It just happened to work. That's a bold play right there.
Yeah. I mean, the illusion rune, the window to dodge of the illusion rune is pretty high. Like, even compared to Manta, I think it's like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, I thought it was the same as Manta.
You might be right, but I'll double check.
If it's like a 0.3 seconds, then yeah, it's a lot easier to dodge than say the Manta's 0.1 seconds.
Illusion rune is... Ooh, am I wrong? Hold up.
Wait, am I right? Hold up. I am holding up as we speak.
During the split, split time is 0.1 seconds.
Let's go. That is Manta timing. We're now seeing another smoke from the Dire, though. They smoke as 4 and they split up. Bold macro positioning here. And off has chosen Roshan. Flesh Canoe will spot him with Rocket Flare. In comes Jetpack. In comes Duel, but the Lincolns blocks it. Hookshot is on PA. PA is absolutely fine. Flesh Canoe drops. Sharpshooter does a ton of damage to Polo. Fasloth looks to turn, but Dire have again moved back to the Roshan pit. Radiant lack their Flesh Canoe to scout this out, and Roshan will go down. Aegis and the Shard both go to off. Phantom Knives now online for Phantom Assassin, and that is a big gain there for the side of Boring Zone.
Yeah. God, this PA is really strong now. It's hard even for the CK to do anything, even with the Silver Edge. The Phantom Knives like super destroys CK as well. Does percentage damage, which is really good against these high HP strength heroes, and then breaking the Chaos Strike as well is like a really big deal. This is and CK just doesn't do all that much damage in the team fights without it.
We on Bushwhack bottom lane. Mr. Lens blinks in. He just needs, as they say, TP's in. The Shivas will slow the Legion Commander. Now Clueless is dead. Polo TP's away, as does Microfry, so they get away from the Cataclysm in the bottom lane, but it is still one more core death on the side of Toilet Jork, and, well, Boring Zone, if they so want to, can run it down to high ground, bottom lane, look to force out the buyback on the Legion Commander, but that is certainly a bold play if they do so.
Yeah. These 4 positions have been getting a lot of the kills. Skywrath has 10 kills. Hoodwink has 11 kills.
Now, you've mentioned, you said specifically the word Skyrats a number of times this game, but, you know, Hoodwink, Squirrel, a type of rat. I'm seeing a similarity right here.
Rat heroes. I Skyrat is just fun to say. Skyrat mage. Like people call Hoodwink rat as well. G-rat. Okay, well, I like the way that Dire's playing right now, where they're just kind of grouped up together, running around the map, forcing heroes away. A little bit hard to force this guy to run away because he's got Silver Edge, and so he can kind of just play around in the trees. And then when you make the enemy team think that you've TP'd out, then you can just pop out of the trees, kill a creep wave, and then go back.
This time he has TP'd back.
This is a mistake by him, but it is what it is.
He has Phantasm ready, but it seems like for now Radiant are actually dodging. They might just sacrifice their 2-2 tower top lane.
It's hard to fight.
Very injured still.
It's very difficult to fight into this Aegis, and the PA is really strong as well. Like, I think honestly they kind of just need to chill and kill some creep waves for a little while, wait out this Aegis. Because like killing this PA once is already really hard. You got BKB, Lincolns, and is playing in Blur for the entirety of the fights anyways. Killing the PA twice is even harder to ask, and especially because I think the CK will go Bloodthorn at some point, but doesn't have it right now. And I mean, I guess Skyrat can just insta-kill the PA if she gets dueled, but breaking the Lincolns and then getting the duel after is not the easiest task either. LC's about to finish a Halberd though. Maybe we'll try to fight on this.
That was the issue in the last fight, is that lack of Lincoln's popper, but yeah, Halberd, you mentioned it, she's still a little bit of gold away, but not that far. I think we're at 150 gold at this point. But Dire...
They broke it.
Yeah, they've broken the Lincolns, but Clueless again is silenced. Lincolns is up in 5. That Sloth looks to hunt. He is invis on the right side. Split Earth hits. Lincoln's again popped. In comes the duel. In comes the hook shot. In comes Mystic Flare. Down go Dire. Patience loses his life, as does the Aegis. Now see Sharpshooter in on Polo, but Radiant run forward onto Chiani. Flesh Canoe is low. He's dead. Chiani is low, but he gets away. Fast off PPs, but no, the crits from off. 2 very fortunate crits brings down Chaos Knight. So Flesh Canoe has bought back. That Sloth can buy back, and he might need to defend this base. But Dire, they're actually not going into the base. They are backing off. They accept that they have gotten some buybacks. By some, I mean literally one buyback out, and they've left the Radiant base.
Yeah, they saw the DD rune on this ward here, and so they're gonna they actually, as off was TPing, Mr. Lens passes his bottle to the PA. That was kind of smooth.
It is a 4-man smoke. That Sloth dead. The remainder of the team pops their smoke on Chiani and Off. Off has Lincoln's and a BKB. He becomes in for Microfry. Microfry will E-blade himself and remains alive. Flesh Canoe will die back. Clueless again is hunting for some kind of duel play, but he's crit down by Off.
DDPA.
DDPA with 2 back-to-back crits. One very dead Legion Commander. And now, once again, Fast Sloth dead for 30 has buyback. Legion Commander for 60 also has buyback. But Radiant are low on buybacks. They only have 3 buybacks. 1 has been used. That is cool.
No BQ MP. Yeah, they're gonna have to chill a little bit, I think. PA does just like have an abyssal. PA is really rich all of a sudden. A couple of good fights, and then PA is just 8k net worth above the CK. Abyssal finished.
And they will only claim 1 more buyback in the range racks. So melee racks are all still intact. And Boring Zone back off.
Honestly, the PA is like really has a really free game for the most part. I think only one hero she needs to worry about is the Skyrath Mage, and I think honestly, her best course of action right now is to buy an Ags and just like chill until the Skyrath Mage shows, either like on a ward or like on a decoy illusion, something like this.
I suppose Nullifier is also an option, but instead he's opting for the Satanic, and the likely will be an Aghanim's Blessing after that.
He has the Abyssal, so as long as he clicks it before the Skyrath E-blades himself, then I think he'll be able to kill the Skyrath. I mean, this hero, no matter how much Sealed of the Scion armor you get, I'm not sure it's going to be enough to live this full slotted level 25 PA.
Yeah, it's difficult. I think if you're getting enough stacks of Shield of the Scion to survive, and you probably want a team fight anyways, you have to cast like what, like 40 spells to get enough armor to survive that.
I think you just need HP as well. Like, no matter how much armor you get, I think you can die still. Kinda. I mean, like, maybe if you not get like a million armor, you got 99.9% physical reduction, but like I think you can only get like a maximum of 40 armor anyways from Shield of the Scion just because of your ability cooldowns. I think he might still die through 40 armor. It'll be hard to kill him with 40 armor, but I think he still could die.
Leshrac, by the way, used his BKB accidentally. I don't think Dire know that, but Radiant certainly do. T3 is dead, and Lesh actually has the shard ready to go. That's off BKB, stunning Tiani. In comes Dire, focusing CK. CK is immediately destroyed, but he does have buyback. They move to Polo. Polo does not have buyback. Flesh Canoe dieback. Polo dieback. Vatsloff has used his buyback, but it's a 3v5 defense. Tiani will Fiend's Gate away, back towards his fountain, and he will return with full HP in hand. These barracks, oh, these are not long for life at all. These are going to drop quite soon. Bargain Miracle.
Oh, this is sick. Holy shit. I was about to say in my head, actually, I think the item that option buys a refresher, and he instantly queued it up and bought it's sending himself the refresher recipe out. What a beast, actually.
Ends up play from off, and well, he knows where to go now. It is the middle set of barracks.
Okay, what the fuck? This guy's too good. He's not just watching the stream, he's reading my mind.
Yeah, we're on a delay. He literally could not have stream sniped the refresher orb idea.
I mean, he couldn't have stream sniped it because I didn't even say it yet. He just knew that I was thinking it. What a legend.
Well played there by Mr. Oracle off, but we are seeing Dire again return for the middle set of barracks. T3 dead and Patience ends up dying to Micro Fry, tanking too much Shield of the Scion plus Arcane Bolt damage. Radiant.
He four-staffed it.
I think he was trying to like enchant or something, but it just didn't work.
Yeah, I think so as well. But they could go in right now, I think, but they're gonna play it safe. Oh, actually, never mind. Radiant's going in. Flesh Canoe looks dead.
Canoe, a very bold play from him, but this time again he will die away from his team. He's dead for 53 seconds.
He is just so fucking powerful right now. This is double BKB, double Abyssal, everything.
He still has more room to grow. He's level 30, yet he still is not fully slotted out, so he's not even done scaling yet.
Yeah, you can. There are better. Like you can probably put your refresher in your backpack, get another item. You probably want to battle. You probably want to backpack your Battle Fury and Team Boys. That's another item. Aghanim's Blessing, as you said. Moonshard's like kind of okay on PA. I'd say normally Moonshard's a pretty bad item to eat, but I'd say it's like not the end of the world. Alright, I'd say it's like pretty acceptable to do it on PA because this hero needs attack speed a lot. You kind of just rely on your Phantom Strike attack speed. Like right now he's getting a grand total of 16 attack speed from his inventory, I want to say, which is the 16 all stats from Lincoln's.
That's not much attack speed at all, actually. I guess normally he'd have treads, but, well, treads are in backpacks, so that's more than half of your item attack speed gone.
He is listening to the stream. Look at that.
Yes,
It's cheating.
He's like a bug in... I don't know, maybe he's just too good. Maybe he's just too good.
Yeah. Yes.
We are back to the base defense for Toilet Jork. They have melees top, they have melees mid, and they have a very injured Ranger Axe, but it's not quite dead yet. It has 3 HP remaining, and Radiance, they might just deny it the moment Dire step up to save the gold, but the result is the same. Dire being patience. They have gone for the, no pun intended, but they're going for the third Roshan of the game. It is the Aegis, it is the cheese, it is that Aghanim's Blessing, and for Phantom Assassin, that is one big Aghanim's Blessing. You mentioned the value of getting an Agon PA this game, and not only is it very good for the reasons you mentioned, it pairs very well with these talents that PA will be getting soon at 28, 29, and 30, so this is what I meant by this throw up the scale. This is even stronger than before for all.
Yeah. And I mean, just having the permablur is so nice for these team fights. You literally you get all the time in the world to decide when you want to go in. You can just chill forever. Like I mean, honestly, he can just hit these racks of blurred if he wants to.
In comes the Rax. Correction. Down goes the Rax. In come the Rax killers. Tiangi's an AC as well, so it's only going to be even easier to siege. And they catch Polo immediately. Polo is dead with no buyback. And that will now be a 5v4 defense, plus the Aegis, plus the cheese. Exo is active, mid racks are not, and now top racks are dead. It is Megas for the Radiance. Or actually, against the Radiant. Ooh, Micro gets crit down immediately by off. He goes in, he's broken, he's stunned by the hookshot, but he still has 2 lives, and he's still turning on Flatsoft and Flesh Canoe. Everybody buys back, but Radiant are running out of defenders. They have 3 remaining, but it's no CK, and it's no Leshrac. Exo is somehow still online. T4 dead, other tier 4 dead, thrown under severe duress. And they catch Microfry, blink in, crit down, Flesh Canoe dead. That is 4 diebacks. Lewis will attempt the juke, but the result is the same. The GG is called. And we will be getting a 1-1 series draw.
Awesome, he stumbled off and he just bought the refresher. I literally didn't even say anything. He played really well that game too. I think his early game was like a first 20 minutes maybe were a little bit poorly played, but and even still, I think those like mid to late game team fights, he never just like got exploded by Skywrath Legion really. Always like I think that's one issue. That's probably like your main worry if you're PA is that you have to make sure that you don't just get deleted by duel into Skywrath ulti because you're so strong and then that will literally just insta kill you because you are a little bit on the squishy side. That's just like never happened as far as I can remember though.
This is a little less dramatic of a net worth graph than last game. Some ups and downs, but it was really in Dire's favor this time for the entire game. What can you do? It was a outside of the delayed start and the pauses, a pretty exciting series though. So I was happy to be here. Do you have any more analysis for us, Mr. Logical Dota 2?
I mean, I think that Toilet Jork, the way that they play the game is pretty cool. I think that if they, I mean, it's like if they just like don't make very like if they just play the way that they were for like the first 15 minutes, like before they did the throw, then I think they would just win every game because I don't think any team would be able to beat that. They just like they smoke a lot, they run at you a lot. I think if they like didn't have any slip ups, then they'd actually just win every game.
That's why it's a very interesting 3-3 they have. It's really one of the more interesting records. I almost kind of want to go back and watch some of the games they played that I missed because we missed the Riley feed series. We were casting during that. That's probably a very interesting series to go back and watch potentially for me, but what can you do? Thank you for coming on and joining me. Logical, do you have any final words, call outs, shouts to say to the people of League of Lads and twitch.tv/Badger Pablo?
Call out to Neff for dodging us on that cast the other day.
Actually had an invitation to join tonight too, but he declined. What can you do? You also declined, but then you showed up anyways, so luckily you were here. I digress though. Thank you to the viewers for tuning in. Thank you to Math Magician for the raid. It was appreciated. Shout out to Colonel Squid, who was my backup caster if Logical was not available, and ended up telling him you can go home. I have Logical, so sorry if I wasted any of his time there. But if you want me to cast your games, cast your turns. If you want me in Logical to be hired to cast your pro tournaments, contact me on Twitter, twitter.com/BadgerDota2, or on Discord, Badger5713. We'll be back eventually. I'm off tomorrow, but Logical will not be off tomorrow. Actually, see, Logical is going to be temporarily on loan to twitch.tv/mathmagician10. I believe it is the whatever versus Boring Zone series at 7 p.m. EST, correct?
It's Bloom's game. I don't know that much aside from that. I'll have to take a peek a little bit.
I believe it's that. It sounds about right to me. But check out Lance tomorrow. The Mathematician Logical cast tomorrow should be a great time. I know I'll be there. Should be a real fun cast. But for now, though, thank you for watching, and as always, have a great night.